Apparently we were all copper-based. All of our physiology was based on copper. We were all blue bloods. Okay? We were all royalty. In fact, we still are. It's just that our physiology is not working the same. And the reason it isn't is apparently because of a nuclear war that occurred here. One of the nuclear wars that occurred here. Now, why Earth? Well, number one, it's a really beautiful place. Okay? It's not the only planet that has water. And when you listen to the scientists talking about the different moons that have water on them, you got to ask yourself this: where did the water come from? If you have a moon that has no atmosphere, how did the water get there? Because it wasn't always there.
Apparently we were all copper-based. All of our physiology was based on copper. We were all blue bloods. Okay? We were all royalty. In fact, we still are. It's just that our physiology is not working the same. And the reason it isn't is apparently because of a nuclear war that occurred here. One of the nuclear wars that occurred here. Now, why Earth? Well, number one, it's a really beautiful place. Okay? It's not the only planet that has water. And when you listen to the scientists talking about the different moons that have water on them, you got to ask yourself this: where did the water come from? If you have a moon that has no atmosphere, how did the water get there? Because it wasn't always there. It wasn't always like that. It had atmosphere. They were moved. Even Earth was moved from its rotation twice. And there's a possibility, if it's able to happen, I talked with Jay-Z, that they want to do it again. The flood of Noah, okay, was a moving of the planet from its original orbit. That's what caused it. Okay, we're talking about huge motherships that just hook a little chain to the planet and just move it. Okay, they have this technology, but that's what it is. It's technology. Okay, apparently we can do these things with our own minds if we're disciplined enough and we're clearly focused on our intent. And with talking with Jay-Z, that is exactly what Ramtha apparently has been teaching you. Okay, to remember who we originally were before we fell into time and fell into physicality. So I will read this. In your linear time of third density measurement of 439,231 rotations ago, war on a grave scale occurred in your solar system. This aggression occurred against those on your worlds that included not only you Terrans, but also those of Nibiru. This invasion of your system by Orion was led by a queen named Suti. This war was destructive on many levels and frequencies of physicality. We will focus tonight on your Terran physical form. It matters little to those who hear you, Alex, who do not listen. Please share this regardless of any emotional return to you in challenge. When your science truly removes their bigotry, they will discover of the wisdom of it. The last grave conflict was very harmful to your physical form. Many weapons of destruction, many of atom splitting have been used, which means nuclear weapons. This is the reason for most of your Terran skin tones. We shall explain. Orion was and is most interested in the females of your race because of the procreation, reproductive, and genetic strengths. We want to share the fact that much of your Terran history has been misleading in its truth by those who eventually conquered in control of your solar system. Nibiru won, but only a short battle, before they and other outposts were forced to leave your solar system because of genetic damage. Your original races were green-skinned. This we know because of large copper traces in your Terran 22 blood types. Also, the pituitary and thyroid were fully functional. The genetic damage to these organs was caused by radioactivity in air and all things of contact. The air was like this for a long time. It caused the genetic memory of these organs to be closed and almost atrophied. Your world experienced drastic changes in climate and massive magnetic fluctuations. Your different skin tones, spraces, are a result of an edema damage to your blood. It was then necessary for survival to create self-sufficient and contained environmental habitats, both above and below the earth. Now, folks, this is what the Garden of Eden was. It was an artificially created environmental habitat. Okay, it's like like what Richard Hoagland's been talking about. You know, you take a dome city, you build this dome, and then you terraform it underneath that. It's exactly what these were. Let's see, where was I? Much of the fossilization of your Terran remnants is caused by this radiation of your planet. Your system contained 3 suns at the time. Only 2 remain. I'll read that again. Your system contained 3 suns at the time. Only 2 remain. Write it down, it's a question. Your physicality, your physicality in its original form contained a great balance of zinc, copper, magnesium, and iron. Your true blood color was green, like your chlorophyll.
Yo, what's up, pups? How's everybody doing tonight? Good to see everybody. What are y'all doing? Perfect Cell, what's happening? Cotton Trust, Abdella, good to see you. Adrian Wolf, what's happening? To Bendu, the PulseChain MP, what's happening? Good to see some Cali people here. Gray Knight, what's happening? That's right, smash that like button, everybody. Smash it to pieces. I wanted to start early tonight because I knew there was going to be some dumpage. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try to go early. And right when I start, the market moves. What's up, Atlantean? How you doing? Great to see you. Claudia, you're awesome. Sundays are for saying. You know I was going to be here. Keeping you guys up to date. What's up, Joe? How you doing? What's up, Charles? What's up, Ethno Sapien? Yeah, that was me. I saw that. There'll be 1000X coming, but not right now. What's up, Devendu? What's up? What's up, T.S. Pedro? Rapid Unbox. Habibi! Come to Prague. What's up, Henry? Shishio, how's it going? Mbalta. Ram Loss. Condor. What's going on? Pups! What a way to start a stream. What a way to start a stream. I got a guest waiting in the green room, already ready to join. I know I got some more guests coming later. I got some special guests tonight, actually. And but we're going to just look at the Ethereum chart really quick, and then I'm going to dive into the news because we got lots of news to cover. What's up, Fergal? What's up, Malik? Ram, I love your posts, by the way, man. I really do. They're awesome. Cool. Let's get some different music going. Got a little bit of rain. Anna, how you doing over there? Can you hear me all right? Yeah. I'm gonna punch in, all right? Oh, there you are. How are you?
How are you doing?
Nice to meet you, Anna.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. How did you find the channel? I'm looking for some music.
Well, I saw the live on YouTube
Uh-huh.
randomly, and also some of my friends were reposting things.
Oh, cool.
From
What crypto are they into?
I think Solana mostly.
Solana, yeah. I mean, all my friends are into Solana as well. I'm kind of like on the fringe.
And Ethereum.
Ethereum. Oh, speaking of Ethereum. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. You came at a very auspicious night. Looks like ETH is dumping. Let's go take a look really quick at ETH. If it's possible, Anna, can you turn your mic up a little bit? It doesn't go up anymore. If it doesn't, it's all right, but... All right. What is going on? Oh, wow, okay.
I think it does. It's just me being a bit shy.
Hey, gang, what's up? What's up, Robert? How you doing? Everybody smash the like button. We are going to stream this. If this is a start of massive capitulation, we're going to stream it. My target right now is about 1522 for this, though I do think we're going to go a little bit lower, possibly 1460. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out how low we're about to go here. I see those likes. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate that. Keeps us pumped up over here. So, Anna.
Yeah.
Did you think we were going to crash?
Well, I didn't think that. I hope not.
I hope not too. But we are coming down for sure right now.
Yeah, but after every crash, it's hurt less.
That's very true. It hurts a lot less after the crash. Let me see here. Bitcoin is breaking 80. If we close under 80, we are in trouble. All right, we are in trouble. I guess I already drew a possibility we're coming down. So let's come over here through. 300 is at about 78. So we're moving down right now. We're okay. We'll come back in a minute. Let's go see some news. I think she turned it up as high as it can go, Wisher. I think Pups, be cool,
No.
be cool, or I will
No
take you
sadness.
out. Can you guys hear the music? Can you hear the music? Happy Sunday. What's up, brother? Yo, are you have you been following a lot of crypto stuff lately?
Is it loud now? My. Can you hear me louder now?
Yeah, it's probably about the same. Sometimes it's probably just the distance of the mic being it's just probably a little far away from you right now. Yeah. So have you been following stuff lately and seeing what's been going on? Like, how long have you been curious about it?
Well, I've been into crypto since the beginning of last year,
Mm-hmm.
I think, but on and off. And in this first Q4, I've been watching things on
Yeah.
and off also. Can't say daily, but
Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? And you don't have to tell us if you don't want to, by the way.
it's okay. I'm from Ukraine.
Okay.
And I'm also half Romanian.
Uh-huh.
Now, where I'm currently living, are in Romania.
How long have you been in Romania?
Like 5 years. But I spent some of my childhood here too. And no, guys, I'm not sad. I'm just a bit shy.
She's just shy. You guys jump on. Let's see what it's like, man.
I'm glad to be here with Frank.
Nuclear says Romanian chicks are fire. Do you like your Romanian side better or your Ukrainian side? Half.
I can decide, sorry.
Which language do you like to speak the most of the two?
Probably Romanian, definitely.
Yeah?
And English, and I'm trying to learn Spanish.
Okay. Why Spanish?
What?
Why Spanish? Why do you want to learn Spanish?
I like how the language sounds, and also it's very close to Romanian.
Is it really? Oh, yeah. You know what? I always thought Romanian sounded a little bit like Italian.
Well, also Italian, yeah.
Yeah?
Because they're all Latin
Yeah.
languages.
So chat is smitten right now.
Big hi.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go look at a little bit of news, but I want to tap into charts back and forth because the timing is quite surreal that we are dumping. I usually stream a little bit later and the market moves a little bit later. I decided to stream earlier tonight and now we got the market moving. It's just, I don't know if I'm like super lucky or super unlucky, but it's kind of good, I guess. Whoa, it's already at 1637. So we broke my first line was 1669. We have blasted right through that. So looking at what's going on, they're really bringing it down here. Hang on, let's go to the 1 hour. Let's go to the hourly. Okay. That's quite a move right there. Ethereum not looking good right now. Let's look at Solana. You said you have some friends in Solana. Let's go look at Solana really quick. What's going on? So my target for Solana was 103. We are on our way there. It's at 108 right now. Okay. Yeah, so pups, I'm going to look at some news. If you guys are losing it and you need me to jump into a chart, let me know. I'll jump into it. But everything's going like as predicted. We are starting this section of the market, which is going to be a bear market, which I've talked about since November, that we have $7 trillion on the sideline. They need to come into the market. They need some kind of drawdown, some excuse to enter the markets. You're going to see a markdown because tariffs are deflationary. So it's going to curb demand. So you're going to have assets, all kind of assets repricing, which is good for the middle class. And I have a clip that I can share in a little bit. See, does we got to lock in short email line. Have you ever heard? Chad wants to know if you've ever heard about pDAI. She's never heard about pDAI, guys. It's a copy of a stable coin on PulseChain. Chat's just ridiculous. Guys, she just said she knows about Solana and Ethereum, and she's learning about, I guess, PulseChain. You must have heard about PulseChain, right?
One thing that I cannot say I have a lot of knowledge. Maybe you will teach me.
Got you. But you said you'd seen the stream before, correct?
Yeah.
A little bit? Cool. Well, let's jump into some news and we'll come back. Pain before the gain. JB says we're going to Romania soon. Everybody smash that like button. Let's go. Let's look at the news really quick. What's going on? All right.
The president doesn't try to reach out and reward these countries and companies that play by the rules in the 1987 scenario, the one where we went down 3 days and then down 22% on Monday, has the most cogency. We will not have to wait out too long, will we? We'll know by Monday. Fortunately, we had an excellent set of employment numbers today. At least it makes it less likely a crash will necessarily lead to a recession. But if President Trump stays intransigent and does nothing to ameliorate the damage that I saw these last 2 days, I'm not going to be constructive here. I will contain my anger, but only because I lived through 87, and in the end, I came out okay. I was in cash for the crash. I know what this feels like. Oh, and if Europe moves against our fabulous tech companies next week, then I will be furious. That I promise you, because it should not happen. The president doesn't try to reach out and reward these countries and companies that play by the rules in the 1987 scenario, the one where we went down 3 days and then down 22% on Monday, has the most cogency. We will not have to wait out too long, will we? We'll know by Monday. Fortunately, we had an excellent set of employment numbers today. At least it makes it less likely.
All right, so Cramer is, I don't know, some people are saying that he was quite bearish about Monday. I don't know that I'm getting that from his video. I think he's on the fence about it, which is about right. Just to give you a heads up on what's going on really quick, this is from Scott Besant really quick.
And look, I'm not happy with what's going on in the market today, but the distribution of equities across households, the top 10% of Americans own 88% of equities, 88% of the stock market. The next 40% owns 12% of the stock market. The bottom 50 has debt. They have credit card bills, they rent their homes, they have auto loans, and we've got to give them some relief. That I was struck by the statistic from last year.
That's the message right there. Just as a bystander, I'm like, wow, okay.
Or that I like the examples, and I was really struck by two different statistics last year. Summer of 2024, Americans took more European vacations than they had in history. Summer of 2024, more Americans were using food banks than they ever have in history. I went into two food banks near my hometown to ask, what's the story? And they said, it really takes, for a lot of people, it's a loss of dignity to walk in a food bank.
Of course.
But they were seeing a new phenomenon, that it wasn't their traditional clientele. It wasn't people who'd lost their homes. It wasn't people out on the street. These were working families who could no longer, $100 at the grocery store, that basket of groceries every week, they were missing 5, 6, 7 things, and they were coming to the food bank to top up. So that's not a great America. Record European vacation, record food banks.
All right, so that's pretty much what's happening, and I think it's begun to. All right, Trump wants to make America stronger. There has to be a repricing of assets, so maybe we have this bear phase in the middle. Now, something I've stressed many times before is I think we're going to get an early bull run or a later bull run, however you want to look at it. So there is something big still coming, but we absolutely need this in between. And I've talked about this a gazillion times on my streams for a long time. There's $7 trillion sidelined that needs to enter the markets. We're not going to get the glorious bull run until that happens. And that's not going to happen at these prices. So stuff needs to be repriced. All right. Yeah, the Besson interview was great. That's just a quick clip from it.
Do you think these tariffs are here to stick, or just a power move, like to obtain some things on the short term? Yeah,
I think that's a really great question that everyone's wondering about right now. And I do think a lot of it's negotiating power. So the latter of what you said. Because already we're hearing a lot of countries, perfect timing. Let's listen to this clip, because over 50 countries have already reached out to President Trump to negotiate new trade deals. So it seems like it was just a power move to get negotiating working in America's favor.
I got a report from the USTR last night that more than 50 countries have reached out to the president to begin a negotiation. But they're doing that because they understand that they bear a lot of the tariff. And so I don't think that you're going to see a big effect on the consumer in the U.S., because I do think that the reason why we have a persistent long-run trade deficit is these people have very inelastic supply. They've been dumping goods into the country in order to create jobs, say, in China. I got a report from the USTR last night that more than 50 countries have reached out to the president to begin a negotiation. But they're doing that because they understand that they bear a lot of the tariff. And so I don't think that you're going to see a big effect on the consumer in the U.S., because I do think that the reason why we have a persistent long-run trade deficit is these people have very inelastic supply. They've been dumping goods into the country in order to create jobs, say, in China. I got a report from the USTR last night that more than 50 countries have reached out to the president to begin a negotiation. But they're doing that because they understand that they bear a lot of the tariff. And so I don't think that you're going to see a big effect on the consumer in the U.S. because I do think that the reason why we have a persistent long-run trade deficit is these people have very inelastic supply. They've been dumping goods into the country in order to create jobs, say, in China. I got a report from the USTR last night that more than 50 countries have reached out to the president to begin a negotiation. But they're doing that because they understand that they bear a lot of the tariff. And so I don't think that you're going to see a big effect on the consumer in the U.S. because I do think that the reason why we have a persistent long-run trade deficit is these people have very inelastic supply. They've been dumping goods into the country in order to create jobs, say, in China.
So countries are already moving around, all right? They're already capitulating. Now, he doesn't think there's going to be a lot of change here in the U.S. I don't know if that's true or not. We got to see what happens. We got to see what kind of deals actually get worked out. Okay, Pops, listen. If you guys are going to be inconsiderate in the chat, I got to boot you, all right? And I might just boot you forever based on what you said. So I saw some weird posts coming in here. And I see a different feed than YouTube, but I am looking now because Deerslayer is not available today. And I think he probably would have chopped some heads off. So be cool, man. Because let's see, where are we at? Okay. Yeah, some of it's just not funny. So be cool, man. And that goes for all guests we have on the show. That goes for all the guests we get on the show. So, by the way, where I am, they're choosing the Miss Czech Republic, who's going to go to the Miss World. Look at the music. J-Bay, you're awesome, man. Thanks, brother. Really appreciate that. Everybody watching out there, we got about 862 people watching and only 17 likes. Come on, let's pump those likes. I know some of you guys are driving, but you still got a hand free. Smash that like button. Just smash it. Have you ever been to Czech Republic, Anna?
Not yet.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful city. And you know, there's actually, you know, so you said you speak Romanian. There's actually a lot of Romanian people in our Telegram group. And I think Luna Seapoint, is that Romanian?
Yeah.
What did she say?
I should not pay attention to those guys.
Yeah. That's good advice. Luna Seapoint knows a lot of those guys. They're in their basement flipping meme coins. They've never even met a woman outside their mom, and their moms even hate them. So, yeah, don't pay any attention to them at all. You guys are a trip. Luna, thanks so much. Luna's cool. Luna, do you speak, are you Romanian? That would be a trip, wouldn't it? All right, guys, watch this video. This one's a trip. Oh, you guys.
I'm pretty sure she is.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure Luna is.
The way she wrote it? She's got to be, right?
Yeah.
Guys, there was a hurricane in Tennessee right now. So your portfolio may be going down, but at least you weren't living in this thing. Look at this freaking thing. That's crazy. That is crazy. She's not Romanian, but she's cool. Oh, she speaks a little. Oh, far out. I'm engaged in weapons of mass destruction. Anna, are you AI? Somebody was asking. Are you artificial intelligence? I don't know what these people think.
I might be.
She might be. She could be. She may not be real. It's very possible. Okay, guys, this is why the crypto market's probably crashing because of people like this. Because this whole entire bull run, you know, we had a big. By the way, just to talk about markets, we had a blow off top in November, December, when Pump Fund was going off the charts. If you actually look at the TVL daily, what was going on Pump Fund, it was unbelievable. All right, it's just people didn't want to believe it because money, instead of going into VC-backed projects or big layer ones, all the money was just going right into Pump Fund. And unfortunately, other competitors were too late to come out, you know, whether it's Pump Tires or something else. But they did absorb an enormous amount of capital And they were rug pulling left and right over there too. So, you know, it wasn't a bull run anybody liked, but we did have one.
Do your friends and family know you're in this business?
For sure.
Do they know that you're doing,
Yeah.
that you're stealing?
What do you mean? How is, I mean, I'm not stealing, it's illegal. How you,
I mean, all
how
these
you-
people are buying tokens thinking it's something and it's not, right? So you're
Right.
selling them something that's actually not real.
No, it's real. They get their tokens, they buy it. They
Yeah, but
get
it's
their
worth nothing. That's,
No, it's worth something. No, it's worth something. You can still sell.
but the people that are investing and buying the tokens don't
Yeah,
know that their
they
money is
lose.
going to disappear, right?
They
They're going to lose money.
It's a gamble, and they lost. Rug pull, it's a legal way of making money. Legal way of stealing. Legal way of stealing.
So, but if it is not illegal, why are you guys wearing masks? Why not just be openly doing it?
Just because of the fact that my face is recognizable to a lot of people. This is my Schiller.
Yo, what's up? Can you hear the sound? What happened to the sound? It sounds great on my side. What are you guys hearing?
It was very loud.
Oh, it was very loud. Oh, maybe it's feedbacking? Okay, let's bring it down.
He has 100 ways of stealing. Legal way of stealing.
So, but if it is not illegal, why are you guys wearing masks? Why not just be openly doing it?
Just because of the fact that my face is recognizable to a lot of people. This is my Schiller, and he has hundreds of thousands of followers, verified, connected with celebrities. I'm connected with celebrities.
Right, it would
Yeah.
basically put a stop to your lifestyle and to the
Exactly.
connections.
And not only that, it'll just be like, oh, you're that's rug pulling, and it'll just be like, okay, well, now we can't do it no more.
Do you ever feel bad about the people that are losing all this money? You know, we hear stories about people
Yeah, the
who've
ones that
invested,
destroyed it
you know,
now.
all their retirement or sold their dream house or whatever. How do you feel about that?
Just gotta get it.
You don't care.
No.
That's it, bro. That's got to get it. That's how they're talking. I don't know if they're static as much as their voices were distorted, guys. Didn't know the. That's funny. That was Decentralized Me and 9 Iron. But yeah, this is what you're trading against, all right? Did you hear about all the rug pulls on Solana?
Oh, I saw this. Basically, 99% of the meme coins on Solana.
Yeah. 99%. You might be right on point. It could be that many. It was nonstop because, you know, like these guys just said, they said it's legal. I mean, it's not that it's legal. It's just that you can't find the people doing it, right? It's like they're anonymous. You can't catch them. And Rug Pullers literally doing a documentary was a top signal. Bright Light, that's 100%. Like pretty much, we had so many rug pullers posting videos, doxing themselves, being proud of it. That was very, very top signal right there. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Archie, Decentralized Me has been putting on his X what he's been doing with the money. He's been listing all the places that he's been sending it to for marketing. So he's marketing PulseChain with it. So as far as I can tell, he is using it appropriately, but you guys can look into it more deeply and find out. You were early? Oh yeah, I'm a little earlier tonight, Pups. A little earlier tonight. I actually thought the market was going to dump, so I wanted to stream, and then I would be ready for the dump, and then literally as I hit live stream, the market started dumping. Let's just check really quick where it's at. What happened? What happened? Is it still dumping? It's coming to the lower part of this range. That's Sol, still 108. Let's go here really quick to BTC 70. Whoa, damn, hello, wow, that is, yep, there you go. So my next line of support is 77. I just want to show you guys my chart from a long time ago. You guys that have been following me for a while, look at that. We've finally met. So if you guys remember when I drew this, it was back here in February. I drew this, if you guys remember, right? My thinking was that we would come down and we would tread sideways, but we did go sideways, but at a higher level, but we have touched where we are. So we're at 77 right now. Let's go back to a clean chart. I think this one is out of the question at this point. We're not going up. We are going down. So we'll come back in just a second, and I will show you guys where I think we're going to go, because I do have a target for these moves. We'll come right back. My mouse is stuck, pups. My mouse is stuck. Anna, are you having fun?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You definitely look like you're having way too much fun. 4:48 in Australia. Wolf didn't know that. Feel like we'll rock it up. And what do you think she's suggesting? Pups. Hannah looks very suggestive. You guys just haven't, most of you guys just haven't seen a girl in so long that everything a woman does at this point is suggesting something to you. Raskino, what's happening, bro? Everybody smash the like button. We're streaming while we are crashing again. All right, so do you know who John Denver is, Anna?
Yeah, it's an actor.
He was a singer like back in the 70s, way before any of our time, way before. But do you believe that a lot of celebrities fake their deaths and they come back as like copies of other people?
Well, maybe. I mean, maybe they are.
Have you guys heard this story that John Denver had recreated himself as another guy?
From Dumb and Dumber?
Huh. Expected the Rocky Mountains to be a little rockier than this. I was thinking the same
Red Bull's
thing.
married.
That John Denver's full of shit, man.
You shouldn't watch this show if you're
At
married.
the time of that movie, I didn't even know what that meant because I had no idea who John Denver was. And then I figured out it was about his song Rocky Mountain High. And then fast forward another 30 years, and I figured out that they like to tell us the truth in movies. And well, I think there's a little bit more to John Denver being full of shit, man, than what they're just saying about the Rockies. Let's look. John
I don't know
Denver
if
was
this is
known for
true,
his
but-
love of nature and animals. Do you know who else loved nature and animals? This guy, Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. Do you remember him?
But do you remember Steve Irwin, the animal guy? He's of our time. Like, I remember him when I was younger. You guys all know Steve Irwin, right? Yeah.
You know, this guy. Well, John Denver
Australian guy.
supposedly died in 1997. Right around the time Steve Irwin, the
They do look
crocodile hunter in the
identical.
late 90s, got famous. And well, I don't even think I really have to say much to tell you they resemble each other an awful lot, don't they? And boy, would you imagine that? Their faces just happen to be extremely symmetrical. Let's say you just performed a little eye surgery and made your eyes a little bigger. It'd be a dead ringer, wouldn't it? And you know what is also funny? That
Okay, this
John
is the trippy
Denver
part. This is the trippy
had a
part.
wife, and well, she looked like that. And the crocodile hunter's
That's kinda
wife
ridiculous.
looked like that.
That's
And
ridiculous.
What happens when you put them next to each other? Wow. Their wives almost look like they could be the same person as well.
That's what does it for me.
Would you imagine that? Well, I wonder if there's any sort of smoking gun that might give us more evidence. And although faded, I'd like to point out these 1, 2, 3 facial markings that seem to match up with 1, 2, 3 facial markings. And, who do they belong to? Oh, Steve Irwin and John Denver. Now, supposedly, Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, met his demise as well in 2006 when he was stung by a...
Okay, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, it can, but I don't know if I would be very famous, I would bring my own death just like enjoy life.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, it makes sense.
That doesn't mean any person that look alike it might be.
Yeah, like maybe he owed a lot of money, so he had to like, he wanted to be famous again, but he didn't want to owe taxes. Like, comes back. But then he picks the most I just don't know if John Denver would have gone from, folk country singing, Rocky Mountain High to like bathing with alligators and great white sharks and all that. It's just too out of character, man.
What do you think about the theory with Michael Jackson?
Well, which theory about Michael Jackson?
That he's alive and everything was staged.
Ooh, yeah, interesting. Okay, that one. I do believe he was killed. But you know what? Maybe... I think they wanted him dead. I think they wanted him dead. I think they might have killed him. But I have heard that theory. Do you believe he's still alive?
No, I think also that they wanted him dead.
Yeah.
Like they had an interest to kill him, so he doesn't reveal some details. Maybe?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I definitely think they wanted him dead. I think he knew too much about a lot of things that they didn't like him talking about and things he was into. He was into researching World War II, World War I, like true history, and he started talking about what really happened in World War I and World War II, and they didn't like that. And he started talking about similar things that Mel Gibson was talking about who runs Hollywood and who runs the banks and blah, blah, blah. And it was at a time we didn't have TikTok or X or anything, so we didn't know about this, but that's what he was up to. And I think they wanted to silence him. Yeah. And I think they did that, man. What's up, DG? How you doing? I do believe they're clones, though. Like, it is what got me on this was that their wives look almost the same. Like, that's kind of ridiculous. I do think it's different persons. I just think there were like clones. I think that we have like genetic similarities out there in the world that are like just like us, and we probably already have a predisposition for like what is attracted to us, to that clone. You know what I mean? Like for example, if you were to see the girls I date here, they all look the same. But it has nothing to do with the fact that I picked that. They just all look the same. Like, why is that type of girl attracted to me? I don't know. You know what I mean? And I do think in the same way, they just looked similar. They were kind of clones of each other, you know, in different parts of the world, and the same archetype of girl was drawn to them. That's what I believe. I don't think it was him, but it is pretty uncanny. What do you think?
Well, did you ever saw like a man that looked so much like you? It did happen to me once. I saw a girl.
I haven't seen a man who looks like me in real life, but somebody did message me and tell me that there's there's some Brazilian football player in Brazil who looks just like me. And I looked him up, and he did look like me, but I don't know if it was my clone. Like, this guy's literally a clone of this other guy, right? Elvis is a preacher now. They look like the chick from Terminator. Yeah, exactly. It does. So that's a similar clone to this girl, Linda. What's her? Linda Hamilton or something like that. Well, only day models. It's true. Is it me or is it ladies' mic? The ladies' mic's a little low. She's, but it's just the way it is. DG. She's on a laptop, pups. She's not like in a professional setup. She's just at home on her laptop. So that's the sound we got on it. So, yes, I think we just have clones. I don't think people are faking their death. I just think there's clones. Like, there's a clone of you somewhere, maybe in Romania, maybe in Ukraine. I don't know, maybe here in Prague. You know, I'll let you know if I find her. Let's see. Oh, this is kind of crazy. So Kawasaki, the motorcycle creator, just released a new hydrogen-powered, I don't even know what you want to call it. It was at the Osaka Kansai Expo, okay, in Japan, okay? Its name is Corleo, which is a horrible name for a four-legged monster. It's like an all-terrain vehicle. It doesn't need wheels. Is that thing crazy or what? That thing is nuts, man. And it's coming. Yeah. This is what I grew up with.
I think it looks like something from the StarCraft.
From Star Wars?
No, StarCraft from the game.
Oh, StarCraft the game. Oh, yeah. Mm. Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah. That's pretty much what we're going to end up with soon. Yeah, these little guys. Pretty much what we're heading to. I mean, it's cool. Look, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't name it Corleo, though, or whatever they're naming it. Yeah, but I think it's coming. It's probably closer than we realize, all right?
The 4680 battery, Optimus can... While that may
You know why I know it's coming? It's probably real, because look at this guy. Hey, look, if they have robots that are standing on two legs, you know they have these four-legged ones ready.
Huge advantage because it can learn and adapt to tasks without a team of engineers needing to continuously produce the first humanoid robot from the Optimus production line. Musk also noted that while Tesla is aiming internally,
they got thousands of these things ready to go. Where's
most
that?
of us don't like seeing that. We naturally want our humanoid robots to walk like
Yeah, some of these are CGI, but not all. Not this one.
or just plain boring tasks we don't want to deal with.
Okay, that's
Who
CGI.
hasn't daydreamed about having a robot that cooks, does the dishes, and takes care of chores? Sounds like a dream, right? But at the same time, plenty of people are freaking out, worrying that the...
Yeah, you know, I don't think I want one. I don't think I want one. I have help at my place, and actually I had a Ukrainian lady who would come and cook food for me. She was like an amazing chef, and like I think I like that. I like people, but I think for a lot of people they don't like people. I definitely have had some friends that are antisocial. So maybe for them this is perfect, right? You have a robot in the house. You don't have to worry about socializing with them. You don't have to tell jokes. You don't have to kid around with them. You just, you know, I mean, but I don't know. Would you have one of these, or would you rather just hire a person?
You know, I would order one right now if I could.
Would you like what, to clean the house?
Yeah, to clean, to cook. Sure.
I want a biological woman. Vitalik was sniffing.
But I also think I would kick it out of the house when I'm sleeping.
Wait, say that again?
I think I would get it out of the house when I'm sleeping.
Oh, you wouldn't want to sleep with the robot in the house? Actually, you know what? That's true. I don't know if I could sleep with that thing in the house. Maybe you can like turn it off when you go to bed. Maybe you can turn it off. All right, pups. Last video, just want you to know that people in the economy are doing really well, and we're going to go jump into charts, okay? This is the life of a girl going to Arizona State University on TikTok.
Today on What the Hell Does a College Girl Do Every Day, here's my day in the life at Arizona State University. Got to sleep in today, which was so nice after a weekend in Vegas. This week is my detox week. Open the blinds, unload the dishwasher. I forgot to record breakfast, but I ate. Deep cleaned my room yesterday, but I made my bed. And then put on a workout set to get ready for the day. Morning skincare, put my hair up. Ran some quick errands, got my brows threaded with Sephora, Target. I love Tempe Marketplace, it's such vibes. Had a quick core power class, which is my favorite workout in the world. There's literally not a single problem in the world that core power cannot solve. Okay, lunch, shower for class. I usually have like 20 minutes to pick out an outfit. Get ready with me, and here's my outfit for campus. Weather's beautiful, the walk is always so nice. Can never get enough of campus. And had a lot of paperwork in class today. Then I always got to speed home from this class to get ready. I had to do some brand deal stuff, so I picked out an outfit for din. And landed at Scottsdale for dinner almost every night. Got the Jake Shane members only fajitas, 10 out of 10 recommend. And then we talked major tea and spent an hour taking pictures. Okay, and then my favorite, make tea and rot. Then I spent about 2 hours sorting emails, doing work, doing homework. And yay, bedtime. That's a perfect day.
See, she's not worried at all right now. Crypto's crashing and she doesn't care. Life is good. Life is good.
I've never seen a girl more excited about being at university.
That's it, man. This is girls. I mean, can you relate to her? Is this your life right now?
I mean, I would probably be tired after 2 hours of what she just did, but no, not that many tasks in a day.
This is pretty much like every girl I date. This is their lives. Like if you go to their TikTok. This is all girls now. Not all. Her life is too good. That's TikTok for you. It's over for humanity. All right, pups, let's go look at these charts. Let's check it out. Let's see how much damage is incurred. What's this, 67? Let's cut it down here to the 1 hour here. All right. We're looking, what do you, Anna, what do you think of this chart? How's this look?
I think it won't go down anymore.
Anna's calling a bottom. She's calling a bottom on this chart. Not a bad place to call a bottom. Not a bad. Are you a bottom caller, would you say?
No. I'm a top caller.
You're a top caller.
Yeah.
Well, pups. She's waiting to call the top. Well, look, I like bottoms. I'm really into bottoms. I like big, deep, rounded bottoms. And right now we don't have the type of bottom I like necessarily in the market. You know, I'm looking for something a little more round, a little more broader, a little wider. But maybe this could be a narrow bottom, could be tight, could be very tight. Maybe we do bounce from here. We are hitting really major support. Like if you are going to call a bottom, this would be the place to call it. I will say that. This would be the place. You've done this before, haven't you, Anna?
Yeah.
I feel like you know more than you're letting on right now. Do you get that a lot? Do people underestimate you?
Yeah.
They probably do, right? They underestimate you all the time, don't they?
But I also like to be modest, so it's okay. And also, I still have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
It's good to be humble. It's good to know you got a lot to learn. This is what I call good crash therapy, good content. What's up, Hennessy? How you doing? Let's see. So look, we have a tremendous, look, I have a circle here. We bounced here before at about 78. You'd see we touched 78, 150, 200 over here, okay? We're bouncing right now at about 78, 6-ish, okay? And we have had a major bounce here. It was about 78.4, but we did wick all the way down to 76.5, okay? And it makes sense we're gonna get a bounce here. Now, is this over? Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's zoom out one sec. Now, you guys know we've been in this channel since 2022. We've been watching this channel. Come here, buddy. We've been watching this channel. All right. And we haven't broken out of it until now. We're getting a pretty major wick out of it, but we are still holding at that support. All right. When's this close? 2-day. What's up, KD? How you doing, brother? My man just needed a glass of wine. Come on, Anna, tell us. Tell you guys what? She's told you guys everything. I think they think you have a secret. You're keeping a secret. You want to tell us. She's actually a professional chartist, pups. She works for the SEC. She works for Gary. Anna is from, you said Romania, right? You live in Romania right now, right?
I live in Romania, yeah, but I'm from Ukraine.
She's from Ukraine.
I'm
What city in Ukraine are you from?
Kiev.
Oh, from Kiev, okay. I lived in Kiev for a second, yeah. I was actually in the process of moving to Kiev before the war started. It was really, really sad. Do you have family there still?
In Kelowna, but no, I don't have there anymore. They moved out.
Okay. So when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking the last two times we've come down into this range, we have had very strong V-shaped recoveries, all right? Very strong bounces from this area. And I'll be honest, I do think we're going to get something similar. It makes a lot of sense to me that maybe tomorrow and Tuesday we open it into some green here. All right. You lived in many European places, Ukraine. Yeah. I've lived all over Europe. I think we're probably going to get a strong bounce here. Now, I do not. Let's look at what happens, what could happen tomorrow, okay? Really quick, like 2 seconds. Okay, let's say we get a big juicy bounce here, all right? Now I'm looking at this. We come back into this range. We start making our way up, okay? We got to grab some of these supports. Now, we still have to cross this area right here, 94, 95. Now, I think what's going to happen is we're probably not going to make it. Now, we could, okay? I just want to say this, that I'm not against the idea of us going to all-time highs, okay? I want it to happen, right? You want to see everything pump too, don't you, Anna?
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, like who doesn't, right? Like we all want to see this like rocket all the way up here, right? But I'm going to be more biased to the fact that I think we're going to get rejected and roll over. And I don't know where that's going to be. I'm not telling you we're going up here to this resistance and we're going to roll over from there. I don't know where we're going to roll over. But I do think we're going to get a pump probably for all markets, and we'll look at those as well. I'll show you guys the SPX and reflect a little bit. We're going to reflect on our past bad decisions for the rest of the show. Things we shouldn't have done, things we shouldn't have bought. What's going on? You too. What's happening, man? It's been a long time no see. If it goes below 79, finish your drink. Bro, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, we're down. The thing is we need to bounce. Like if we close a daily under here, it's over from here, okay? But if we get up, we can start trying to go for it. But at some point, I do think we're going to roll over, okay? We may even just come up to here where we fell from, this resistance right here, okay? And we may just roll over right here, okay? And so that would be about 84K, and we'll just come right down from there. I'd almost think that, but this would be a sick rally. I mean, even if you came up from 79, you rode this up to 84, 85. But we could easily come up to the 21. Right now, the 21's at about 92-ish, okay? And get rejected from there, right? So you could come up to here, this 92, and reject from there. But that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I find it hard. I'm hard-pressed to believe we go for all-time highs. But anything is possible.
As a trend, I saw that usually on the weekends, especially on Sunday, we get a crash, and sometimes on Monday, we see a pump, then it stabilizes.
You're 100% correct. Most of these have happened on Sunday or Monday, especially the last bull run in 2021. We had Sunday night was always a crash, but lately we've been getting some Monday crashes. Yeah, you're 100%. So this one was on, well, it looks like this one we came down. It was a weekend still, right? Friday. This one was Monday, 100%. Pups, we got another guest coming in the house. Everybody make some noise. Everybody smash the like button too. M2 says we're probably going to go lower and retest depending on the lead period. Yeah. Look, I think we've entered a bear market. That's my take. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi, I can. You guys?
I'm good. What's up, Crypto Princess? How are you doing?
All good. Hello. Who's that with you? Is it Anna? Hi, Anna. How are you?
I'm gonna punch in. Let me punch in. I'll get you going. You guys say hi. Where are we at here?
Hi, Princess.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I've literally just got back. I had to go out with some of my girlfriends, and we've literally got back. It was raining outside, so excuse my hair and excuse the way I look. But yeah, I just wanted to be here. How are you saying? How's life? I'm
doing great. Thanks for joining us tonight. And yeah, we literally just started this. And no apologies, by the way. Like, it's all good. It's all good. We're pretty casual stream. But it's funny, tonight, as soon as I hit the go live button, ETH started dumping. Like, literally right when I hit it.
It's not now, is it? Is it still dumping? I don't know.
It's all dumping, Princess.
Oh yeah, no, I know a lot of it was dumping. Let's have a look. You've got it up. What?
It's all dumping.
Oh gosh, yes, yeah. Oh gosh, 9% this today.
Yeah. While you were having drinks,
trading
it had
well.
begun its way down.
Well, this is it. It's because what's its name? The market's open tomorrow, and Trump's been quite quiet, hasn't he? So he did all of his thing that he has done with the tariffs, etc., and then he's kept himself quiet. So obviously the market's pretty much it's going to dump tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of selling. People are just going to reposition everything that they have, their portfolios, etc., because crypto now is mainstream. A lot of institutions are involved. So I'm not surprised. Although Jim Craner did say that we were going to get a Black Monday, and he's always, whatever happens, the opposite always happens. So.
Yeah, we looked at that a little earlier. I think he was a little bit ambiguous about it, but I think he was leaning to it could happen. But he wasn't on the mark about it though, was he?
I don't know, because I don't watch him. I think he's a waste of time. I hate people like that. If somebody's got a track record of always being wrong, what's the point wasting your time watching him? I like people who are into facts. I like people who are into charts. I like people who know what they're doing. I hate people who go around, oh, you know what, this is my feeling. Well, that might be your feeling, but this is my money, and I work really hard for it.
Well, let's take a look. I think that the SPX, you guys who've been following this channel, you know that I've been calling for this for quite some time. I don't know, once again, where this 4 is going to end, right? We've come down already much lower than I expected. But then once we do find that bottom, we are going to make another move up. So I don't believe we're going into the Great Depression. That's my take. Now, we have broken major fucking positions here, okay? We broke 51.41 on the S&P, and we're now at 50.66, which was a major line of support. Now, I do think what's going to happen is we're probably going to open tomorrow going a little bit into the red, slightly, and then I do think we're going to come up and go bullish, and we're probably going to go back to backfill, right? So we'll probably open. If we open a little bit red, you probably can expect this. But I do think maybe this first one fills, and then we're going to roll over. I do think lower is in the cards. I don't know how long the rally is going to last. Maybe we get a week of rally or 2 weeks of rally. It's very possible because we've slid down really hard here. There's no doubt about it. All right. Maybe we come and fill both gaps, right? We got 2 gaps, right? If I can open this up, you guys will see the gaps here. Yes, we got these big gaps. Now my target for this move was 49.50, 49.40. You guys have been watching the show. I was pretty much this head and shoulders right here, okay? Which is this. There you go, and it was 49.50. So it's certainly broke down very quickly. And going against Kramer is usually a pretty good mood. They're asking if Anna's ever heard of Hex. Anna, have you ever heard of Hex? Or Crypto Princess, have you ever heard of Hex?
Yeah, of course. Everybody's heard of Hex.
Everybody's heard of Hex.
Yeah. Kevin Hart, all the rest of it. Richard Hart.
Richard Hart, yeah. Saint, you have... what are your thoughts on Hex? You think it'll ever come back?
It depends what happens with Richard. So everything, whatever happens, it's going to be down to Richard. He was really pushing for it. A lot of people do like him. He has a die-hard community.
Yeah.
And that's what you need in crypto. You need hype, and you need community for a project to be successful. He had hype and he had community. Now with him out of the picture, things have happened to Hex and PulseChain and all the rest of it. Although PulseChain is a brilliant project, it really, really is a very good project. Hex, I'm not too worried. Hex, I never really got into Hex. I think with me, although I did like what Richard was saying when he was around, I didn't like his I'm British, by the way, so I didn't really like his attitude.
You can tell, yes.
So I didn't really get into Hex, but I do know about PulseChain. And Hex did perform really well last cycle, really, really well. But is it a one-hit wonder coin? Who knows? We'll find out very shortly.
That would suck if it was. I don't think it is. I think if Richard Hart is going to survive this, if he does survive this, I think he's going to make sure Hex is a massive success.
He is a very intelligent person.
He
has this persona, he has this personality around him, but he's a very, very intelligent person. He called the top as well. Do you remember?
Yep.
Last cycle.
Yep.
Very intelligent. I just don't like his ego. Tiny bit of an ego issue.
He has an ego thing. Yeah. I think that he knows that. That's part of his brand, I think, for sure. Outlandish, outrageous.
Yeah. But saying that, if he didn't have that ego, would he have got the success that he had? I think he probably had to have it, if that makes sense.
I mean, yes and no. I think that you can be successful in this space just by producing green candles and successful projects, but by being a certain way, you attract also other people that may be similar to, or that are just drawn to that personality. There's a bit of cult of personality going on there as well, right? Where people are drawn to just him, not even, and whatever he's into.
Yeah.
But aren't people drawn to narcissists? Don't girls generally want to date men that are more narcissistic and egotistical?
Oh, I'll leave this to Anna.
Drop the big one.
It depends if it's accompanied by an argument or something clearly see a reason for him being arrogant, and then but otherwise no. Ego without facts is purely unattractive.
And I think it's true. I think same thing with Richard. He was able to get away with it as he was producing green candles. With the market being more red, he won't be able to get away with it, but as soon as he produces green candles again, and we see that, we may see the attitude and all that outlandishness come back for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really his fault. I think the whole market is down.
The whole market,
I wasn't expecting this, so I've studied the 4-year cycles in a great amount of details, and I actually spent a year working on my exit strategy, because exiting the market with profits is probably one of the most difficult things that we can do as investors and even traders. And that's why you see with traders, because I know you're into trading, after the bull market, so with a bull market, when you're trading in a bull market, as long as the trend is upwards, you've got 80-90% chance of winning that trade. In a bear market, even if it's an upward trend, as a trader, you've got maybe 40-50%. It depends where we are in a bear market. And that's why you find at the end of a bull market, traders the next year, traders suffer their worst losses, because in a bull market, they relax their risk management and all the rest of it. And it's the same sort of thing as investors. So with investors become moon boys, don't they? So what they tend to do is round trip their bags. So I spent a year working on my exit strategy, and I studied the markets and the market cycles. But this year has taken me by surprise. I wasn't expecting.
Every bear market takes everybody by surprise. Okay, every single one. Just like the start of every bull run takes everybody by surprise. And that's normal psychology, okay? It's called a disbelief rally. When we start, nobody wants to believe it. And when the market falls apart, it's called denial, which is a type of, you're caught by surprise. You don't believe it. It's, we're going to go up again. There's another rally coming. It even says, my investments are with great companies. They'll come back. I do believe it's very possible we may be at denial right now. And I'll show you the reason for that. Let's look at the... what do you think? Do you think we're about to make new all-time highs, or do you think it's rolling over and the whole world's about to go into this little bit of deflation here?
Okay, so personally, I'm still a believer in the 4-year cycle. So the first bull run that we had in 2013, we had 2 price surges, one in quarter 1 and then one in quarter 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously in quarter four, it was completely a different market. There was hardly, any money in the market. So the entire crypto market cap was absolutely tiny, and it was mainly Chinese investors who got involved, even though they didn't really know what Bitcoin was or what they were buying. Then we had the 2017 bull run. Now, the 2017 bull run is very, very interesting because we started off like we are starting off now. We're not really going up, if that makes sense. It doesn't really feel like a bull market, but when you get to the point in the market where it takes off, it's going to take everyone by surprise, and it's going to take off massively. And then obviously we had the 2021 bull run. I'm pretty sure you were in the 2021 bull run, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know exactly what it was like. So what we had the COVID dip in 2019 obviously being the halving year. So once we dipped from 9,800, we went down to 3,200. We did a V-shaped recovery, came out of it. And then in the first part of 2021, we just went up. Then in April 2021, we got to 64,000 US dollars. Everyone was on a high.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the China FUD hit. And then obviously when the China FUD hit, it literally got, Bitcoin got cut in half. We lost 50% of the value, and we ranged at 30,000 for a good couple of months. Now, at that time, a lot of people lost hope. But what happened was the Bitcoins were taken off the exchanges. And when the Bitcoins were taken off the exchanges, the supply shot us up, and we did the second peak. And then obviously at the second peak, the SEC came in and started issuing Wells notices to exchanges and to projects. And then we also had the inflation concern. So I don't think we're going to have a 2021 style bull run. I think it's going to be a boring 2017 bull run that takes us all by surprise. But that's my view on it. So I'm still a firm believer in the 4-year cycle, and we've still got 200 days from naturally where the peak should have been.
The high should come in around October of 2025 if we're going to stay on the 4-year cycle narrative. But remember, we've already had a high before the halving. So you've already had a very unique moment that's never happened before. So we have to also now expect that maybe something happens that has not happened before again. But I'm for cycles as well. I do believe that maybe we could be bottoming out in Q3. I certainly think we're going to have rallies on the way down, but we are going down is what my best case is for this. But maybe by Q3 we bottom, so that would be July. And then by Q4, we're ramping up and heading into possibly the start of the bull run. Now, it could even be something where it gets extended. Maybe they'll call it a super cycle or an early of the next cycle, which obviously they'll call it a super cycle. But I think something weird could also happen where we start to launch at the end of the year. I think in 2017, Bitcoin didn't take off till I think December, right? Was it? We'll have to go back and look.
Well, it was literally towards the end of
it was the end of the year.
Yeah. And it just went. I think it made its all-time high in November of that year. So in 2017, Bitcoin started off at 1,000 US dollars. That was the bottom of 2017, and it went all the way up to just under 20,000 US dollars. So yeah, it was an epic bull run. I loved it, but it was boring for most of the year.
Well, look, you have a tremendous amount of bearish divergence starting from 2018 until now, okay? And you can see on the monthly with the SPX, we've got a pretty strong cross there, certainly rolling over. It's just no denying that, okay? So I'm hoping it plays out into this is, for what I have here, where we come in, we land somewhere, hopefully midsummer somewhere, wherever that is, or end of summer if we're going to run at the end of the year. Then we slowly start making our way up. And that's why I do think oops, that's not the button I want. That's why I do think we're at anxiety. Or we're at denial right now. Maybe we're between anxiety and denial.
I think we're probably on the other side.
Oh, you think we're over here?
Belief. I think we're between belief and thrill.
Interesting.
If that makes sense. The reason being is personally, and I really respect you because I've seen some of your live shows, and some of the stuff that you've said is like, well, hang on, I didn't think of that. That's really, really good. But when you study the mania phases, or when I've studied the mania phases, and obviously everybody's going to see everything differently, and you don't have to agree with me. But when you've studied the mania phases, and JPEG pictures of rocks are selling for millions, $1 million or whatever as an NFT, we didn't really get that. So that's one of the things that I think we still haven't hit the euphoria phase. That's when your next door neighbor cat wants to get in and buy Bitcoin. What do you think, Anna?
Yeah.
I hope it takes us by surprise this year. And also, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to go. Guys, thank you for the invitation, and glad to see you here, Princess. And have a good one, everyone.
Anna, you're awesome. Thanks so much for stopping by. It was really great to have you. We'd love to have you again sometime. Chat, make some noise for Anna. She's been an awesome guest. Really quick, though, before you go, do you think, just on intuition, because I don't know if you've seen this chart before, do you think we're on this side of the chart heading up, or do you think we're on this side of the chart and we're heading down?
I think we are on the left side. Around trail.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Anna's going to buy some more on margin, and she's telling everybody to go long. We love her. We got to have her back. Anna, you're awesome. Thanks so much for coming.
Lovely meeting you, Anna. You're so pretty as well. Thank you. I love you.
All right. Good night. So, Pups made some noise. Thanks a lot for those likes, everybody. I appreciate that. Here's what I feel about that in terms of the mania phase. I do think we had the mania phase, but it was isolated because I've been saying since the start of this bull run, you're going to have an isolated bull run. It's very narrow. The breadth is very narrow. You saw it on the stock market. It was not a wide breadth for anybody on the stock market, okay? And what happened is memes took it, okay? You had memes doing unbelievable numbers, pictures of dogs and cats and farts and this and that, just going into the billions of dollars. You had Trump token, sorry, if we go back, I can't open too many of these or I'll crash the stream, but if you come over here, just really quick, and I'm not saying I'm right at all, we could certainly be on the way up, but you had Trump right here, come here, buddy, right here on this wick was Trump inauguration, which is Monday the 20th, right there. And that week, I believe if it was that week, a man, the
all-time high.
Yeah, a man shot himself on a live stream because of getting rug pulled on a meme coin. And we showed the video. And I didn't show the part where he does it, but I did see it. He does do it. He blows his brains out, and we played it. And to me, and then right then while that was happening, a ton of music videos were coming out that week. So a guy blew his brains out for being rug pulled. Like some 16-year-old kid was shopping for who rug pulled a bunch of people in Solana, was shopping for a Bugatti. Trump got inaugurated, and a bunch of people released music videos, including B. Roots, who was on a yacht with a bunch of girls in Champagne. And I was like, oh, yeah, I think this is very, very top-ish. For now, I'm not saying it's the end of the bull run. That's what I'm also getting at, that I do think we may be in a special cycle where the really big bull run is going to happen, not in 2028, like what we'd or 2029 or 2030. It's actually going to happen in 2026, 2027, and maybe a little bit of 2028. So maybe it's going to be a super cycle. But I do think this part of the phase is done. But if we go to make all-time highs, I'm holding still a lot of bags. I'd be the happiest can be if it does happen. But so I think what I was saying is a lot of money flowed into Pump Fund and these memes, a lot more than people realize. Now, I don't have the figure right now, but it was some astronomical amount of money that Pump Fund was making every day on these memes. It was insane. Does anybody remember, chat? Wasn't it like 5 million a day or something like that? Or it was even more than that, right? It was some ridiculous number. It was like $5 million they were making a day on these memes. So I think what happened is money didn't go into any layer ones. It didn't go into Ethereum. It went into literally the fucking casino. And so we didn't notice it, or everyone was just sitting around waiting for when are we going to get this blow off top? When are we all going to run? We were running. It just was the meta was so different that it ran in all these other weird nooks and crannies that caught everybody by surprise.
But also, do you remember we had the SEC come out last year? Basically, I think a lot of what they did, they really played the market. Obviously, there's so much manipulation in the market. I actually love learning about manipulation. They came out at one point last year. I think this was in Q2, I'm not entirely sure. So this was just before the extended meme season. And they said, basically, we think everything might be security. Apart from Bitcoin and Ethereum, we think everything might be security. So what a lot of institutions did at the time was they go, well, okay, so if we think these utility projects could possibly be securities, we still want some of the market share of crypto. So a lot of them put in a lot of money into the memes. Now, memes, even at that time, last year. What is a meme? So a meme is just literally, a piece of code, and it's a JPEG. I mean, that's all it is. But memes have reached the market caps of airline companies. There's a whole meme movement. When you start to study memes, because what I started to do was during meme season, I started to study memes.
Okay.
So there's a whole meme movement. So memes are, it's a way of expressing yourself. It's a way that Wall Street doesn't normally understand. And it's a way that average Joe can get in and make literally millions from, $1,000 US, etc. So with the SEC coming out and saying, well, we're potentially utility coins could be securities, a lot of these big investors then put their money into memes. And I personally think that's one of the reasons why we had such a massive meme season, if that makes sense. Coming down to Trump, we then had Trump come in, and
here's the Trump meme, right? January 20th, right there as the top. January 19th, January 20th, right? And it's just been down like Jesus.
I mean, but this is the other thing. Like with the Trump meme, is one of the reasons why Solana's now doing so bad, because the Trump meme was it was released on Solana. Everybody needed to buy Solana. Exchanges ran out of Solana. So everybody was rushing in. So much money was pouring into Solana. And as it went down, so did Solana, if that makes sense. Ethereum is the one that I'm a bit concerned about because it's not performing. And I know, obviously, we both know why it's not performing. It's not performing because it's had all the money in the world, and it's had the most intelligent people in the world who know about blockchain technology and Web3, and they still haven't been able to fix the issues that Ethereum has, like the speeds and the fees and all the rest of it. But BlackRock has come out, Larry Fink has come out, they've put so much money into Ethereum. What does that mean, this girl knows her onions?
I think it means...
I don't know.
It means you know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Right, okay. Oh, thank you. So BlackRock's come out, and Larry Fink has come out, and they say that they want to tokenize everything. With Ethereum was actually built, when Ethereum was built, it was built with NFTs and smart contracts on it, as you know, as you're aware. So it is literally the chain. And then on top of the chain, we have other things that are built, other chains that are built, which are heavy into into NFTs, etc. They want to tokenize everything. Ethereum is the chain to go to, because one thing that Ethereum has that no other chain apart from Bitcoin has is that it's tested, it's lasted the test of time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
It's reliable and it's proven itself.
No doubt.
But the thing that worries me is that if tweets from the President of the United States can't meaningfully do much to the price, what hope do we have? I mean, the price is just going down. It's very confusing, actually. Apart from the fact that there's newer chains and the technology is changing, but Ethereum is a worry.
Ethereum is definitely a worry, and that's the reason a lot of our alts aren't going. I was explaining to people before, for example, PulseChain had run on these epic moves on Ethereum. These are when PulseChain had its bull runs on these, and PulseChain is not going to have its next bull run until Ethereum makes its move up. So I don't know if that's going to be in here. I don't know if we're going to tread water sideways for a little bit and chop and then move. And that goes for all your alts, most of them really. Except Solana. Solana seems to be doing its own thing, which is good for Solana. Good for them. Now,
yeah.
I had a friend not a friend, but he was a mentor. He taught me a lot of stuff. I had worked with him on charting skills back in like 21, 22. And he told me that the next cycle, he said they're going to crush Ethereum. And he told me this in about 2022. It was near the end of 2022 when he told me this. He said they're going to crush Ethereum, and they know that the everyday people, whatever, us, that we are trying to make money in alts, and that institutions are getting in Bitcoin, so we're going to be more in Ethereum. So he said the legacy people, whoever's controlling the markets, they're going to crush Ethereum and hold it down and squeeze out all the alts, and they're not going to. And he said that the altcoins will not really run until end of 2026, 2027. And this is what he told me in 2022. Now, he also did say Bitcoin was going to top out at a much lower price target, so he's not right about everything, but he was an amazing chartist, and what he's told me so far about Ethereum so far has come true. So far, without a doubt.
Well, the only thing that I could think about with Ethereum is two things. The one is it's being manipulated, which is pretty obvious. Everybody knows it's about, there's a lot of manipulation done at the highest levels in crypto. And even Bitcoin can be manipulated. So what's Ethereum in front of Bitcoin? With Ethereum, the price action of Ethereum, now it's very, very interesting. You said 2022. I'm not entirely sure because it could have been 2023. Ethereum's price action really struggled, and it really was hurt by going from proof of work to proof of stake.
100%. It's been going down since that point, yeah.
Yeah, so as soon as the miners left Ethereum, it's just been going down. Now, proof of stake is more energy efficient, it's faster. There's so many benefits to proof of stake than there are from proof of work. Proof of work is now old technology. So with proof of work, what computers, the way that things are mined is that computers have to perform these like tasks, and once they perform all these, these tasks, they get rewarded. Say, for example, with Bitcoin. With proof of stake, you actually stake your tokens, and you help secure the network, and you help run the network, you help with governance, all the rest of it. And it was one of the reasons why Charles Hoskins fell out with the other founders of Ethereum. But in the end, he was right, because Ethereum did go to proof of stake. Why the miners? I mean, what I don't understand is how that affected the price, if that makes sense. So how did going from proof of work, which is old technology, and going to proof of stake, you would have thought that it would have, it's made the blockchain more better. But since that moment, Ethereum's price action has been dismal.
I think a part of it is just a bit of market uncertainty, and the fact that it happened during the bear, I think that was totally natural. But at some point around here, it should have reversed. Well, can you see what I'm... Okay, there we are. So I think as we moved up in here, it should have reversed. I think what happened, to me, what I see is pure manipulation. I think once we got up here, somebody was making sure Ethereum never got above this level, and kept smacking it down, and it was extraordinarily bullish. And I called the big break on my show. I have the video, and I've shown it on this live stream, the replay of it, when we were sitting there in December, and we had this trend line right here, and I still have this trend line right here, and we were coming up for an extraordinarily bullish move out of extraordinarily bullish patterns nonstop. And I said, when this broke right here, it was December 9th, and I have the video live still on my channel. I said, look, guys, this is really bad. This is extraordinarily bad for Ethereum. This should not have broken. And then I think 2 days later, we came up and did a retest and were rejected. And I was like, guys, I think it's over. And the price was 3,700-ish when I was calling that. I think this is really bad. It was 37.48 on my show. I don't remember. I think it was right here. Or maybe it was right here. It was 37.48. I'll never forget it. It was December. You guys remember I was wearing my Christmas hat? And I said, guys, we're in trouble. Ethereum should never have broken this line. And in the meantime, all the other KOLs were calling for altcoin season and blah, blah, blah. And I said, guys, you cannot break that line. This line right here, it's still on my chart, cannot be broken and rejected. And it was. And ever since then, we've been down. And I think there's a guy in here named, who said that? He nailed it. Turk Montana is exactly the sentiment. He's saying, the only reason BlackRock and the Illuminati groups got in was to stop the bull market and stop the average Joe getting rich. They want you to be slaves. Mm-hmm. So there's some truth to that. I do think they're suppressing the price of ETH. I think what we saw, it has been down since that point you mentioned when it switched, no doubt about it. But as we got into here in this bull run, it should have broken through here at any of these points. And it never did. And to me, I just was seeing this as pure manipulation. And when we broke that line right here in December 9th, this uptrend, that's pure manipulation too. And then, then you get you got a double top, tried it a couple more times to get in there, rejected, see you later, bye-bye. And they've wanted to crush this like 100%, because you're right. You said Ethereum's trusted. It is trusted. It's been around. It's been tried and true. Yeah, it has. There's only one reason. It's because they want the price wrecked down here. And the guy who told me this too, he was vehement, similar to what Turk said. He goes, they don't want you guys to make money, and they're going to crush the altcoins, and they're going to crush Ethereum. And he was adamant about that to me. He's like, your altcoins aren't coming back till 2027. That's what he told me in 2022. But maybe it comes back this year or the end of this year, 2026. I don't know. Let's look at the bull case. Let's say we do go up to make all-time highs, because you were saying that maybe we could be. You said maybe we're here, thrill or belief. You were saying.
Definitely, we haven't yet hit euphoria. We haven't hit the mania phase.
Here's what needs to happen if that is the case. I'm going to show you right now, okay? So obviously this was me anticipating our breakouts, right? Like I drew this a long time ago that we were going to go sideways. I thought we'd do it at about the 300. And look where I had my reversal. Let's think about April 18th, we start the uptrend, right? And of course, I had some other ideas before. Let me just... So this could still happen, 100%. And let me show you the bull case for this, how it would need to happen. What probably will happen is this. You're going to, wherever that is, maybe we chop a little bit more, right? And then we start making our way up, okay? And we're going to get up here to about this 95, 96, 94, this range right here. And a lot of people are going to expect that, hey, that's it, guys. That was the lower high, and we're going to roll over, right? Of course, right? But for the bull case, here's what will happen. Right about here, probably above 93, 94, 95, is they'll announce something. So there'll be an incredible explosion of really incredible news, like something extraordinarily bullish, like some white swan, like America's buying da-da-da-da, or Russia is now buying Bitcoin and China's buying Bitcoin, or no taxes on crypto or Bitcoin. What will happen there, because normally you'd probably get a rejection here, that'll be it. And that'll break us through here, and this will be the ultimate lockout move. Because right now, a lot of people would be trading this, and they would have sold right about 91, 92, 93, expecting the rollover, right? And some people would have just sold in general, and they wouldn't have bought back in. And once that news comes here, it'll be so enthusiastic and euphoric that we'll move right past 108, like instantly, like bam, instantly. It'll be just like a God candle. Then that's called a lockout move. That means if you're just left behind, that's what a lockout move is. No one's going to get in there. And then from there, you probably do maybe a slight bit of retest, but it'll just go up, up, up from there. I think that would be the way the bull case would play out. And then at that point, you're looking at my targets, or maybe, oh, fuck, I don't know if we could hit. At that point, we'll be further down. Let me see if I just get these back in here. Maybe I need to adjust these. I need to look at these again. I haven't looked at these. Probably moved all over the place. But I'm thinking 140 to 160 could end up being the thing, right? Maybe higher. I mean, who knows? Maybe we hit like 220, 250, like some people say. But certainly 140 to 160 comes into play. It lines up well. But that's how you'd create the lockout move. You would have another pump. Maybe it starts tomorrow and we ride up for a week or two. Same on the S&P, whatever. Everyone thinks it's like a dead cat bounce or just a bear market rally we're having. But then, right as you get to the point where every trader, most of them would have sold into this retrace, 50% retrace or whatever this will be, they'll announce something crazy, and then they'll just have a god candle leaving fucking everybody behind on everything. It'll probably happen on the SPX too, possibly, or whatever. By the way, chat's loving you, by the way.
Are they? Okay, well, bless them.
You guys are blessed.
So just very quickly, because I know you've been live streaming, and I do apologize for coming in late. I did try, and as you can see, I'm wet as well.
We're chill. We're chill.
So we'll talk about the all-time high in a second. You mentioned something else. That I was gonna, okay, so we have, just very quickly, Iran. Iran and Russia have been buying Bitcoin since 2018 at least.
You think so?
Oh, I know so. Have you ever read the book Bitcoin Hard Money You Can't F With?
No, I haven't. Let's look it up.
Oh my God, please read it.
Read it?
You would love it. It's one of the... Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. I'd never...
Yeah, I love it.
I've never heard of it.
It's a really, really good book. It is slightly outdated, obviously, but a lot of the things that the author has said in that book is still valid. Other countries have been buying Bitcoin. When it comes to the bullish news, you've obviously, I know you have, you've heard of the Bitcoin Act 2024. Now, for those people who are unaware, this is probably one of the most bullish things that could happen. This is where this is a bill that the United States will probably implement, because obviously Cynthia Loomis and Donald Trump are championing the bill. This is where America will be buying 200,000 Bitcoin every year for 5 years. That's equaling 1 million Bitcoin in total. Now, already that they've said that the Bitcoins that they've confiscated, they're not going to sell. So they're going to use part of that for their Bitcoin reserve. This has started a global Bitcoin rush. It's like the new gold rush. Companies, major companies are now coming into crypto, especially Bitcoin, and that's why you could see it decoupling from the altcoins, because Bitcoin now is running by itself. And the altcoins, they haven't done too much. Last year we had an alt season in Q1, and we touched upon an alt season in Q4, but since then alts have not been doing very well. Institutions are now coming in, all the rest of it. With this Bitcoin reserve, actually goes through Congress. It has to go through Congress. It's not something that the President of the United States can push through himself, because they will be using taxpayers' money. So it's something that has to go through Congress. This could be the catalyst that starts that run-up. I mean, there's many other things that are happening that are really, really bullish. So exciting. It's such a brilliant time to be in crypto. Oh my God, I am like literally so excited. But just very quickly, when you were talking about the all-time high, you said you might top out at 160 or above. Do you remember the massive sell wall that they had at $100,000 when Bitcoin reached 100,000? Can you imagine the massive sell wall that they'll have at 150?
150, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if we're able to clean that 150 massive sell wall, I'm not entirely sure where we're going to end up, but that would be absolutely amazing. People are saying we're probably going to get a $200,000 Bitcoin, because I'm in the UK, so I'm pounds. But with Bitcoin, what I will say about Bitcoin is I have an alt bag and I have a Bitcoin bag. I will never, ever, ever sell my Bitcoin. My Bitcoin is for my great-great-grandchildren, and I don't care what it goes down to in the bear market. Now, traditionally, and we are very early in Bitcoin, traditionally, or since up until now, Bitcoin has never fallen below the price it's been on election day. So it was, what was it? Was it 67,000 or thereabouts last year in November in election day? I don't think it will ever get beneath that. But Bitcoin is the only thing, the only cryptocurrency that I would never sell, and I'm keeping it for my great-great-grandchildren.
That's great.
And the price of Bitcoin, easily 1 million within our lifetimes, very, very easily.
Okay, yeah.
Bitcoin is where we're going to make, I mean, all the other altcoins, doesn't matter if you're into Hex or oh my God, I love Cardano. Like the bullish stuff that's coming out on Cardano is amazing. I don't know if you've read up about what's happening on Cardano, but it is like top notch. And I didn't used to like Cardano because it was a really slow chain, really slow in development. It's like just do something, but there's a lot happening with Cardano now. I've just gone off topic and I've forgotten what I was going to say. I do apologize. It happens to me a lot. You'll be surprised.
Well, you said you were going to save it for your grandkids or your kids, yeah. And you said 67. So 67 is the level I have. It's kind of the line in the sand. I have 67.6 over here. And just to clarify, Pups, because I know some people are new here on the channel, I've since the last 6 months I've been calling for this bear, and some people think I mean a 4-year bear market. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm literally talking about, I'm trying not to use the word super cycle, but I'm going to. I said we're going to have a bear section of this market. It doesn't mean a bear, if you guys are new to trading, it doesn't mean 4 years. You can just have a drawdown. For example, let me just go show you the SPX, okay? If I go here to the last, let's say, bear in the SPX, that was from July of 2024, it was last summer, to August of 2024. Okay, do you guys remember? So that was 2 months, and that was a bear market. It wasn't 4 years long, okay? It's just, it was about, it's about 2 months long, and I was saying before that there's $7 trillion, not on another live stream, we have $7 trillion on the sidelines. They're obviously not entering the market. If they were going to enter the market, they would have done it by now, okay? Because other things are more appealing to them at this time. So you have to make risk assets a little bit more appealing. You can do that by making the asset itself devalued a little bit, but you can also change the other things that they may be in, like money markets. They're maybe getting between 4 and 5%. Those rates might come down, okay? So there's a combination of factors that have to happen that are gonna make risk assets, especially crypto, which is the ultimate risk asset, appealing to $7 trillion, okay? And that is what's gonna happen. And I'm hoping that this little bear market is what does it. It doesn't mean it's a 4-year bear market. It could be literally 3 months, okay? It could mean that between April and June, we are marking down. And I even said before, Q4 is when I expect, or I'm hoping that we have a major run up. And you can see, even for my SPX chart, you guys that have been following my live streams for a long time, I have count 4 down here as a low. I have 4,600. I don't know where it's going to come to right now, right? And I have it around August, but I think it's probably going to be more like July, okay? We'll see. We'll see what it does. And then from there, maybe the Fed will feel their hand forced to pivot, and then we'll have this massive, massive run up, completing the rest of the bull run. And then you'll get, when this, what is that? Subscribers. Thank you, buddy. That's when you'll get your hundreds of X's, thousands of X's in the altcoin market again. Cardano will actually go up to all-time highs again. Solana, XRP will go to $30. Bitcoin, possibly will easily get into the $200,000 at that point. I think if we don't make a run for the all-time high now, and we do complete this little bear section, I don't want to say bear market because everybody who's new to investing thinks that means 4 years. When we complete this little bear period here, a lot of capital will rotate in, and at that point, the new all-time high of BTC, could easily be $250,000. Easily at that point, maybe more. Who knows? Yeah, Q3, Q4. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's when I say bear, that's what I mean, this little bear cycle we're in right now. I don't think we're going into the Great Depression. I don't think we have a 4-year bear market in front of us. I do still believe in the cycle. So if we get the low in June, July, and they pivot, what happens? We start pumping into the fall, and 4-year cycle complete. Maybe we hit the 160 at the end of the fall. Who knows? But we are certainly going to go up again. no doubt about that. ETH is going to have its day. That I tell you. ETH is not dying. And actually, where we are now could be a good entry for Ethereum. What do you think? Would you buy ETH now?
No, I think Ethereum might fall a bit more.
It's going to go a little lower? So that means our alts are going to go a little lower. How much lower should we go on Ethereum?
Okay, so I actually sold quite a few of my positions. I can't remember if it was in January or February. I really don't remember. So what we had, or the indicator, was the MACD turned bearish on the weekly. And this was in, I can't remember if it was in January, I can't remember if it was in February. When it turned bearish, the last time it turned bearish was in March 2021. And that was 1 month, or in March 2021. Remember, 2021 was a bull run, but we went and we hit the first peak in April. So a month later, we fell 50% down to 30,000. So from 64,000 US dollars down to 30,000 US dollars, and we ranged there for a good couple of months until we had the supply shock, which led up to the second peak. So when I saw, it wasn't actually me who discovered. It was another trader. I've got a live stream with him tomorrow, Army Piper. When he told me, hang on, the MACD has turned bearish on the weekly, what do you think? And then we discovered the last time it done that was back, the last time was, back in March 2021. I did take some of my positions off the table. I wasn't expecting it to do exactly the same as what it did in 2021, but I did think that we were going to dump. Now, if I can go back, everything is clear in hindsight. I would have taken more of my money off the table. But, it's just one of those things. In hindsight, everything just seems so much more clearer. But I'm glad that I did that, because at the time, we had the Trump's inauguration or whatever, I can't say it, I'm sorry. That's it, yeah. So we had that, and then we had other things, and everybody was super, super bullish. So I am glad that I was able to do that. But yeah, that's what I like. And, you do it as well. You go on what the charts say, if that makes sense. It's not like, oh, I've got a feeling. I can't stand people who do that.
Yeah, and the chart for Ethereum is still, it's quite bearish. We look at the MACD, and the MACD's been pretty straight. I mean, this is the 2-month MACD on Ethereum, okay? And it certainly looks like there's a little bit more downside to go. I wouldn't stop anybody from building a position here and beginning, no doubt about it. I'm not one of those buy it all one time, so you could take a nibble here and see what happens. We don't know exactly where it could go, but RSI on the 2-month is still at 46. It's pretty much everything's pointing straight down, so maybe we can certainly go lower. I'm hoping here at about 1520 is where we go, though 1350 is certainly in the cards. And at this point, I do not want to entertain or think about what happens if we go lower than 1350, to be honest.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things. Look, long term, DCA has never failed, unless you get a coin that dies. But long term, DCA hasn't failed. So with Bitcoin, DCA, even at these prices, there was a time when I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna buy Bitcoin at 100K. But then when you look at it long term, within our lifetimes, Bitcoin will be going to $1 million US dollars, definitely.
Hopefully.
And no, definitely. Like I can see it. I can see it going much more than that as well. I apologize. Yeah. I am a huge Bitcoin maxi, and this cycle has made me even more for maxi, but I do hold altcoins, and that's where I'm going to be making a lot more of my money, because the returns are not so much in Bitcoin. You can easily make more returns in altcoins if you play your cards right, if that makes sense.
It's extraordinarily risky. It is. It's just like, small cap stocks, extraordinarily risky, but it's where gains are. Look, Bitcoin goes to $1 million, you're 10, 12xing your money. Nobody I know would take a risk like that. A 10x for crypto, you're starting to push it now, right? Like, You can do that in tech stocks almost, right? So you do need more gains, but here's the thing: you can do a bigger allocation, and it's a safer place to be without a doubt. But altcoins are where you're going to get those gains. You're going to get 20, 30x. Could be realistic. Solana did a 20, 25x from its bottom, right? This cycle, right? So yeah, that's where your bigger gains are, but certainly more risky. Somebody was asking me to show you. Somebody's asking to look at PulseChain. She doesn't know PulseChain, Pubs.
Well, no, not really. I'm
We can look over here.
pretty much so. With me, I entered the cryptocurrency market as a Bitcoiner.
Somebody's trying to tell you that Hex is a better Bitcoin.
Okay. I respect your whatever, but we're going to have to agree to majorly disagree on that.
She might be disagreeing. I mean, look, the chart on BTC it might be better than the Hex chart.
But long term, I mean, everything else is going to go to zero. The technology, this is one of the reasons why I absolutely love cryptocurrency. It is the technology behind it. And so what you have is if we think about it, look, we had Web 1. What was Web 1? That was the internet of the 80s, the 90s, dial-up internet. Do you remember that? Dial-up internet. It took 5 minutes to go from one page to another. Then now we're in this is Web 2, what we've got now. So Web 2 is mobile, it's Wi-Fi, it's all over the place, but we have the major tech companies basically running it, if that makes sense. But we're in Web 2 now, and Web 3 is going to be built on blockchain technology. Now, the underlying technology for cryptocurrency is blockchain. Cryptocurrencies are not going anywhere. But when you look into blockchain technology, there's lots and lots of different types of blockchain technology. So you've got old school, so you've got Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, it runs on a proof of work consensus mechanism. And then we had the next sort of blockchain, if that makes sense, which was proof of stake. And now we've got so many. We've got proof of history, proof of authority, so many different types of blockchains. All of them have pros and cons. We're still very early into blockchain technology. But Web3 will be built on blockchains. Hex, whatever consensus mechanism Hex is running upon, blockchain technology literally outdoes itself its turnover is so quick. It's so quick.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why Ethereum, so with Larry Finks and BlackRock, they decided to choose Ethereum for their NFTs or to tokenize things. But why is that? It's because Ethereum is reliable and it's got a track record, whereas most of these other blockchains are very, very new. They don't have a track record. If I was going to tokenize the White House, I would rather do it on Ethereum than anything else.
100%
if that makes
correct
sense.
about that. Well, one thing interesting about PulseChain is that it is a copy of Ethereum. So I think one thing Richard Hart did that was very smart is he just copied Ethereum because of all the reasons we like Ethereum, right? It's the best thing to copy. It's battle tested.
Yeah. So it runs smart contracts and NFTs, and it's scalable, all the rest of
everything.
it. Yeah.
And every update Ethereum does, they can just copy it right over on PulseChain and update it. Same thing.
Okay, so does it have the? I'm learning about Hex with you guys right now. Does it have the same issues that Ethereum has? I.e., does it have the issues with speed and fees and things like that?
Can you say it again? Does it have all the fees?
No, does it have the same problems that Ethereum has? So does it have problems with fees? The fees are extortionate, or with the speed, etc. It can be quite slow, if that makes sense.
Right. No, it's extraordinary.
How did you deal with that?
It's extraordinarily fast, and it is cheaper. Why is PulseChain a lot cheaper? There's people in chat. Why are you looking at MACD without looking at levels? There's always a smart ass in here. Because I know what I'm looking at when I look at the MACD. You, my friend, probably need to open up 5 different indicators. I'm like the guy at the Olympics who showed up with the gun on his hip and just whipped it out and put the bullseye, all right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that guy. The guy from Turkey.
That's me. Because I've been doing this a long time. You should, though, open up levels and Ichimoku Cloud and put on your helmet and your special goggles to look at charts. Sometimes
It says, did somebody say Hex is a hybrid proof of, is that work and proof of stake? So it's a mix.
Yeah, how does
I'm not sure.
how does he keep? How does the fees that much cheaper on PulseChain since it is a copy? PulseChain is a full system stake fork. Yeah, but why is it? It is so much cheaper. But why is it? Just because our volume? Obviously, is that all it is? Like, can we expect to be at Ethereum's cost? Well, in all fairness, Ethereum, because no one's using it right now, it's pretty cheap. I was sending something and it only cost me 30 cents, I think, and I was shocked. I almost like fell out of my chair. I was like, what? 30 cents? How's that possible? It's faster, cheaper, 40,000 validators, more throughput. So why is it cheaper, Archie? Is it because of the throughput? Peace to the Saints. Hexagon lost in Asia. PulseChain launched cheaper. Yeah, but she had a good question. Like, why is it cheaper, right? Like, it's a great question. Like, what is it just because less people are using it right now? PulseChain uses.
Well, maybe it's got. I was going to say maybe it's got more validators, but obviously Ethereum would have more validators because it's got. I think Ethereum has more developers than any other chain at the moment.
Because Pulse is cheaper. Thanks. We know. Just because. No, I don't know the answer to this one. It's a great question, actually. It's a simple question. It's right to the heart of the matter. Why is it cheaper? Like, why?
And with PulseChain, is it reliable or is it like a second Solana that's been down a couple of times?
That's one thing I got to give Richard Hart. His price action's down, but I ain't never seen anything break on PulseChain or Hex. Flawless operation. That's one thing I have to say. Absolutely.
No, I mean, like, I'm gonna give that to Richard. He really is a genius. He knows what he's doing. With me, I suppose being a female or maybe just being British.
By the way, when you say bearish, we get really happy.
Bearish, or I just said British just now.
I know, but I like how you say bearish.
Bearish.
I don't want anybody to talk about bearish stuff, but when you say it, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
How long have you lived in the UK? Did you grow up there?
Yeah, so I'm second generation British. So, although I do speak 5 languages, but and I have traveled the world, but yeah, born and bred here. Yeah.
Oh, British. Right on. I grew up in UK. I grew up in London, and I moved to the US when I was about 7.
Okay, because I was going to say you don't have the London accent.
I did when I moved here. I mean, not here, but when I moved to the U.S., I was speaking British because, that's where I learned English. But when you're young, it goes away. And I got the California accent and all that.
Okay, so you're in California.
Yeah, I was in L.A., yeah.
Better weather. Much better weather.
Yeah. Well, it depends what you like, right? Maybe you like gray skies and fish and chips. I don't know. Who likes...
Oh my God, I love fish and chips. I always have fish and chips. So in my Discord, I'm always taking pictures of fish and chips.
Are you? Yeah.
Like, that's just so British. And I'm just like, well, that's just what we love.
No, it's one of the things I missed when I was a kid, like remembering going to Trafalgar Square and getting fish and chips and like wandering around with your parents, right? Like little things. I'm sure that's not a cool place to go now, but, like 50 years ago, it was a cool place to go, when I was a kid.
Just very quickly, so somebody was asking me if I had a Twitter. I do actually have a Twitter. I think all my details are below. So I have a Twitter, I have a Telegram group, I have a Discord. We just talk about crypto 24/7. Male, female, anything in between. Like, we literally don't care about gender, race, or anything. Like, there's no bullying, because when I first entered into crypto, I was heavily bullied. Like, there was so much discrimination. It was absolutely crazy. So my places are like a safe place. And I'm actually also starting my first live stream tomorrow. Are you going to be in the chat?
I'm gonna come. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So, just very quickly. So on my, sorry, did somebody just write something up there? See, Princess, do you dislike Serbia something? Country. Why would I dislike Serbia? I'm not too sure.
We don't know about the context of that one. Fish and chips, love it.
Yeah, fish and chips is lovely. So I do also have my channel. So I have the Crypto Princess channel. It's just it's a YouTube channel. I do 3 things. So I got into crypto because of the money, but I absolutely love the technology behind it. So I do educational shorts. So I teach you about the technology behind cryptocurrency, all the different projects out there, market manipulation, everything. So you kind of get a little bit of everything. The shorts are absolutely lovely, and they are for beginners as well. So it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or intermediate or advanced, you'll definitely find something in the shorts. And then I have another series that hopefully Saint will be on very, very shortly. It's called Crypto Stories. So I'm not a mathematician. Like I said, I speak 5 different languages. So it's that part of my brain that works, that's more dominant. But I love hearing people's experiences. I love hearing about their stories, and hopefully Saint will be on very shortly and we'll get to learn his wonderful story. So I've interviewed a lot of, like, I don't know if you know Crypto Crow, or there's loads of people that Drew from Blockchain Basement, all the rest of it. Tom Crown hopefully will be on shortly as well. So there's a lot of YouTubers and influencers that I have interviewed to find out what their crypto story is, and a lot of them have amazing crypto stories. And if I had to recommend one, I have no favorites, but I absolutely loved Crypto Crow's story. And then there's another thing that I do, and it's market reviews. And hopefully you can come on at one point, Saint. I'd love to hear more about, like, I love what you do, and I'm really impressed with some of the things that you've called, and they've just come, you know, exactly how you said that they were going to work out. That's how they worked out. And I've actually got my first live stream tomorrow, so that would be amazing. I'm actually looking forward to it, but I'm petrified because it's like I'm going to be hosting it.
No, that sounds great. You sent me the invite, I think today, earlier today or yesterday, and you changed the time, but I think it works. It works for me, and I think you're going to do great. I think it's awesome, and I'm glad you're doing a live stream. I think that's where the fun is. I mean, that's why I enjoy doing them, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun doing it. I think it's going to be great. And
yeah, hopefully.
I'd never seen that
Karen.
guest you had either before, and I just checked him out, and yeah, he seems super cool. I think it's going to be fun. You're going to do great.
Army Piper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot
So
of fun.
he was the one who told me about the MACD turning bearish on the weekly, and the last time that this happened, and it was.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did she freeze? Oh, I hope I don't have too many charts open. Let me close something really quick. It froze, but it's okay. Everything seems to be working, and nonetheless. Hang on, let me just double check everything. Let me close stuff really quick. Let me close. Maybe I got too many charts open here. I opened up Amazon. Close all this stuff. Close all the extra stuff. I'll close TradingView for now, just in case. Okay, we should be fine.
Somebody was saying that about the 4-year bear market. It's not a it is just literally for the person who was saying it. So in crypto, we have a cycle. It's a 4-year cycle. It's 1 year of price decline and 3 years of price increase, although it doesn't always feel like that. So for example, in the last bear market, or the last year of price decline, we made an all-time high in November 2021 when we hit 69 US dollars, 69,000 US dollars. And then in November the next year, in November 2022, that was the bottom. And that was, you know, where we hit close to 15,000 US dollars. And then since then, we've actually been rising. And then when you say like a bull market, that's when we get to the previous all-time high, and then we go up from there. Sorry, what was that? I saw my name and that was it.
They're asking you about the the minting issues in the past, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
You mean mining issues? The 51% tax. What do you mean by minting issues?
Yeah, wrap
I'm
it
not
unbox.
entirely
Give us
sure.
some more clarity on it. There's been a couple issues. I think they have forked the chain, right?
Oh, Bitcoin's been forked many times.
Yeah.
So we've had Bitcoin Cash.
Maybe that's what he's getting at. But
Yeah, we've had Bitcoin Cash, we've had Litecoin. These are all forks of Bitcoin. I'll actually be doing some shorts on them soon. So what happened was that obviously Bitcoin came about, blah, 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 but it wasn't suitable for everyday use. So Bitcoin, it wasn't suitable for everyday use. If you wanted to buy a cup of coffee or something similar to that, by the time your Bitcoin transaction went through, your coffee would have been cold. So so-and-so came along and they're like, okay. So what we'll do is we'll create Litecoin. Litecoin is more scalable, it's faster, it's quicker, it's more suitable for making everyday, like Bitcoin, using the code of Bitcoin, but for the block sizes, making those block sizes bigger so you can have more transactions in a block, making it faster, making it more scalable. Just the same as Bitcoin Cash as well. They were just forks of the main Bitcoin. And what that actually means is actually the Bitcoin code. And then what you do is you just add a bit into the Bitcoin code. So it's literally proof of work. All the rest of it is all the same. There's just been some upgrades, if that makes sense. Now, this is a thing in crypto, and this is why Hex and PulseChain, in my belief, they're doing so well. Yes, the technology is there, but you need a community. So if you think about it, we've got Facebook, we've got X. What are they? They're just communities. These are some of the biggest companies in the world, but all it is community. And for any cryptocurrency to be successful, any meme, anything to be successful in cryptocurrency, you need a good community behind it. There's a spirit of Bitcoin. So when obviously we had Satoshi Nakamoto, all the rest of it, he disappeared, which is one of the reasons why Bitcoin is so successful. The miners didn't want to leave Bitcoin, the original code. That's why when you have other forks of Bitcoin, they're not as popular as the actual Bitcoin, if that makes sense.
Yeah. 100%.
So I don't know if that was what he was getting at.
Well, I think a couple more people shot in. Luna says it was an inflation bug in 2018, and then who says there also was an actual minting bug. I think there was something way early on in BTC, a minting bug or some kind. Yeah, I mean, look, these are codes and stuff happens. They're corrected. Pulse also is going through its first issue, if there is one, right, with the MakerDAO and the P copies and all that stuff happening. So maybe we're also going through our first one. But yeah, Bitcoin had to be. I don't know how they fixed it. They voted on the first one, and then I think they forked. I don't know what happened. They had to split the chain.
I'm going to have to look into that because I'm going to have to look into that. I'm not sure if
bug.
I'll look into that because I haven't. I did actually hear something about that, but I don't think it was the actual Bitcoin.
No. Okay. I don't know the full details
because
on that either. Yeah.
Otherwise, Bitcoin would not be as successful as it is. The same thing with Satoshi Nakamoto. If Satoshi Nakamoto came back tomorrow, Bitcoin would lose its value.
Yes, I do think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So with Satoshi, for example, so many people have said, look, I'm Satoshi, blah, blah, blah. Well, to prove that you're Satoshi, you need to have access to the email that he used when he was signing into Reddit, his Reddit account. You need to have like the private keys for the wallets that he set up, if that makes sense. And I think they've got something like 60 billion US dollars in them or something similar. It's spread over like 20,000 wallets or something similar to that. So if you have to prove that you're Satoshi Nakamoto. You can't just say that you're Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah.
Although what they do say is that he could possibly be British because of the way he was writing, his grammar, and the times that he was online.
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, he's over 1 million, 1.1 million or something like that. Somebody says here in August, Bitcoin developer Jeff Garzik identified a critical flaw in Bitcoin's code that allowed an attacker to create 184 billion
I don't
Bitcoin.
think this is correct.
I have to check it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if this is there was something. I know there was something. I just can't remember it now, but I don't think
it was known
I'm
as
not going to say anything.
CV2018. I have heard of this. Okay. I know that
I have heard of something
there was
similar.
A patch made.
Yeah, okay.
Satoshi's wallet moved BTC. No. UFO to go. No BTC has been moved from Satoshi's wallets. Unless it just happened
So I hope
while we've been streaming.
no. If it did, we're all in trouble. Our Bitcoin would be worth nothing.
That would be fascinating. Like if it was a long con by like some 3-letter agency and they've already got the fork ready, and then they're finally, the way they do it is they attack BTC, but all they have to do is just move Satoshi's wallet, and then BlackRock can say, oh, we've lost confidence. Oh, but guess what? We have another one ready to go, and then they release theirs.
Yeah.
That's how they would do it. That's how they would do it. They don't need to 51% attack or any of that shit. But that would be if they were actually the ones behind it from the beginning, you know? There's even rumors that Russia is behind it. And at some point they'll reveal their hand by, like, all they have to do is move Satoshi's coins, and that shit'll go to under 10K like that. That's for sure. Pretty quick. And then whoever's competing will release their chain and start pumping it. And then, of course, people follow green candles. People follow green candles. That's just the way markets are. They don't care. A lot of people will still get behind that one. That would be an interesting story. I mean, you've heard that. There's that famous Dan Pena video where he's saying, like, Putin is behind Bitcoin. You've seen that one, right?
I haven't. No. I don't. I mean, there's so many people who come out to pretend to be Satoshi. Yeah, there's just so many.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I think somebody in the chat, because I can't see it properly.
You can't see it?
I think it's just the way that it is. It's completely fine. Don't worry. I think somebody said that Richard Hart or something similar. I need my phone to find it. Could have been Satoshi.
Oh, zoomed. Weird.
See, yeah, exactly. Somebody else is saying, welcome to PulseChain, Princess. It's the biggest, wildest communities in crypto. Exactly. This is the thing. Richard Hart is a character, and that's why he's got so many people following him. He is an alpha male, and he is intelligent. But I think for a woman, it's just like, it's a little bit different.
Wait, what do you mean? Like in terms of if you were running a business, or in terms of attraction to him? I didn't follow the context.
I think when I was looking into him, and this was in 2022, it's the ego issue, if that makes sense. I mean, I was brought up really, really proper, really well mannered, really well spoken. Sort of, I'm a different sort of, like, from a different.
That style isn't very British.
But I think
for sure.
Yeah, he does appeal to a lot of young men, because he has pretty much everything, and he's been really, really successful, and he does talk a lot of facts.
Yeah, he certainly knows his stuff.
He does, yep. He does know his stuff. He is a genius, but.
And I think that's what a lot of people are betting on, because I do think there's a lot of truth, and why I moved away from the tech per se, because I think the era of it's going to be there, the era of tech, but I just think AI is going to do a lot of things better and put a lot of layer ones out of business. For me, I was betting on PulseChain because I'm betting on the man, but also I'm betting on the community. That I do believe that communities are going to be the real value in the future markets. And I think I was confident when memes ran, because it meant that my narrative and my thesis was correct. That the communities were winning over your tech. No one gives a shit about your tech. Nobody gives a crap about your math. The communities were winning hands down, and that's what we saw this first iteration of this bull run. And I'm feeling that way about PulseChain as well, because it is a copy of Ethereum, which Ethereum isn't cutting edge tech. That means PulseChain is not necessarily cutting edge tech, but there are things about it that will be cutting edge. But more importantly, the community is like nowhere else in crypto. So I'm betting that as we move into the future, as more people are drawn to crypto, they'll be drawn to Bitcoin as the original, the OG, but then a lot of people, or those same people, will also be interested in a place where there's just incredible communities, whether that's here or I think SHIB still has a community, or Pepe or whatever. There's going to be a few of those places, right? Landings. And I'm betting that they'll still triumph over tech. But AI is going to get really good at making blockchains pretty soon, I'm sure.
AI is going to put us all out of jobs. I will definitely look into the minting bug.
The minting bug? You're going to look into it?
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that, and I'll probably make a short on that as well. In a couple of weeks, I'll probably have a short out on the channel.
Don't listen to chat. Don't let them convince you to get off your path. Did they convince you?
It's fine. It's fine. I want to see.
Curious.
I want to know if there's anything that's out there. I want to know.
You're curious.
Oh yes, very much, very much.
I can see. Yeah, I mean,
And I love everything Bitcoin.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Well, Bitcoin was Speaking of communities and cults, Bitcoin was that. It was the original OG cult, because even in the beginning, it wasn't called Bitcoin. Everyone called it the cult of Satoshi, I believe it was called in the beginning. And then it became the cult of Bitcoin. And then now we just call it Bitcoin, right? No one calls it the cult of Satoshi anymore. But in the beginning, it was that way as well. And I think going ahead, because, next year, this summer, AI is going to release a new blockchain. It's going to be faster than, than Sonic and Cadena or whatever. It's going to be more secure than blah, blah, blah.
I think, I think Solana has the fastest at the moment.
Is it fastest? Okay. So it'll be faster than everything, but what it won't be able to do is bring a community together. And I think any project that still has that, whether that's BTC or the Hex or, SHIB or whatever it is, they're still always going to do well, the communities.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I mean, that's it. That's how all of these memes got to wherever they got to. So you need. Let's take Donald Trump and the Trump coin. Okay, offending no one, because I'm pretty sure a lot of your audience is American, and that you guys love Trump. But again, you need hype. So what is more hype than the president of the United States? And you need community. He has a diehard community.
Yes.
It was the first cryptocurrency to hit. What was the maximum it went up to? It hit nearly 100 US dollars. Or was it?
No. Did it? 68, 70 bucks. Was it 77 bucks?
70
got
something.
Up there.
Well, it's the closest.
Yeah.
It's the closest to hit. And it just went up. An extra basically what it did in literally a day or two is something that it took Bitcoin 7 or 8 years to do.
Yeah.
That's how big the market cap was. So, and everybody was getting in. I just hope nobody put their life savings into it, because at the end of the day, it was a meme. And then obviously we've had, the president of Argentina, I can't remember what his name is, who rugged
Javier Milei. And he did rug. Yeah, they rugged it. They started rugging.
Well, they say it wasn't him who rugged it, but at the end of the day, if you're somebody who has
he benefited
so
on the
much power. Yeah, if you're somebody with so much power and influence, you need to take responsibility, because
it's only in hindsight that people can realize we had a local top. It's only but when you start talking about presidents of countries, benefiting off the rug pulls, I mean, that's about as local topish as you can get, I think. And of course, Trump didn't rug pull it, but he certainly his team benefited off.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right?
I think when it was 17 cents, somebody put in, and this was literally as it launched, somebody put in an order of like $1 million US dollars. So they must have had insider knowledge.
Of course, 100%. Yeah, because I didn't even hear about it until it was 5. Somebody sent me a text 5 in the morning. I didn't get it till like 10. It was already I think it was up in here in the 20s by the time I even heard about it.
And then you're probably like, oh my God, it's gone to 20. Oh, it's probably like, it's gone up so fast. 20 for a meme. You're like, oh, that's probably the top. And then it went up to what did you say, 70 something? Well, which is
it's a tough move to go for. You would have only gotten a 2 or 3x. You're taking such a big risk for that at that point, from my perspective, whereas I can flip a lot of things for a 2x in crypto, right?
Oh yes, I'm pretty sure you could. Yeah.
No. With something like this, which we didn't even know it was real till really later in that day, because this could have been it right here. This top here at 35, that could have been it. That could have been it. And I'm sure I would have sold there anyway if I'd bought a 20 something. I would have been like, I'm out, man. Because it went lower than 20. Yeah, it went to 22. Okay, yeah, it touched level. And a lot of people got wrecked. I think it'll come back. I think when we have this in maybe Q4, whenever that is, we have the rest of this bull run, or it could be considered in very early next bull run, whatever it's going to be. Because remember, we had the high before the halving, so maybe they are pulling up the bull runs to happen sooner. Who knows how they're doing it, right? Who knows what games they're playing? but it'll have its day again. I have no doubt. He's not going to leave his presidency with this going to for this looking like a rug pull. I don't think he's going to let that happen.
Well, no, he won't. I don't think he will. If
Right.
he himself wanted to rug pull this coin, he would do it just as he's leaving, after when he's had his 4-year term, because he can't become president again. I don't know how old he is, but he is getting on in his years, if that makes sense.
Hey, what's wrong with
so
old
if I was
people?
President Trump,
What's wrong with being older?
Sorry?
What's wrong with being older? You don't like older men?
no, I think I do believe he's at that age. He probably wants to play a lot more golf, spend some time with the family.
I'm in my 60s
Isn't
and
he
I already
like
want to play more golf. I'm tired. Crypto's hard, man. He has been playing golf a lot lately, though. All the latest word is that he's on the golf course like all the time. But the markets are crashing and he's just been playing golf.
But this is it. If I'm completely honest, this is what he wants. So with Trump, the United States of America, it obviously has the largest economy in the world, but the debt of America is equivalent to its GDP. So all the money that it makes literally goes to paying off the interest of their debt. They need to do something about this. This is not a can that they can kick down the road anymore. They need to deal with this, and they need to deal with it head on. So what he's trying to do, in my opinion, and I think some other people do agree with me, although I can be wrong, he's trying to with the tariffs, etc. He's creating this war. This is all, it's all a game, sort of like political game.
It's negotiating.
Yeah,
it's fun.
But what he really wants is he wants POW. He wants the Fed to lower interest rates so he can service the debt a lot, easier. And I think he's going to get it. I'm not being funny. He doesn't.
The Fed will pivot. The Fed will pivot. But the question is when. And I think a lot of people are expecting it to happen possibly this summer. I don't know. I mean, part of me thinks, who knows how? It depends what breaks. Because I think the Fed's not just going to pivot. They need to point their finger at something. So maybe something will break. And then they can say, okay, now we need to do it. Our hand was forced. We got to do it now. They're probably not going to give credit to Trump like, yeah, because he did this. Now we had to do this. Something's going to snap some point. But when, right? When's it going to break?
Since I've been in crypto, I've literally had to learn American politics. It's just one of those things. There's no getting away from the fact that how big the American economy is, and what happens in America affects us all. And I didn't really understand that until I got into crypto, if that makes sense.
Wait, what didn't you realize till you got to crypto?
How big the American economy is and the influence that it has all over the world.
Really? You didn't realize that?
I did. So the American...
Are you jealous?
all the BRICS nations...
I feel like I'm sensing a little bit of jealousy in your voice.
No, because its debt is like literally all of its GDP goes to pay off just the interest on its debt. It's just to service its debt. I do think...
It's all on a credit card. We put everything on credit cards. Tanks, F-35s, our dinner.
Yeah, but your credit card limit, you've reached it.
No. Mine's still got room.
You got to think about the next generation. We've got to leave this world in a,
We're Americans. Do we think about the next generation, pups? Do the British think about the next generation?
Yes.
You do?
We believe in climate change. I don't know if the Americans...
Oh, no.
Yeah, we want to, we want to leave the world in a better...
Oh, no.
A better place. We want to leave it, for our kids and grandkids.
Luna's right.
We do care.
We have a money printer. We just turn it on.
Oh yes, please do. So again, in 2021, you guys had the stimulus checks, and we had that amazing bull run, which was a whirlwind of an event. But that was one of the reasons why we had such a massive bull run. So once you turn on the money printers, the whole world will benefit.
The whole world will benefit off it.
The whole world will benefit.
I mean,
but you do need to look after people in You do need to look after your own people, because at the end of the day, the way that things are, I mean, life is hard for people in Britain. Families are struggling, so I can just imagine how difficult it would be in America. I think we have a better welfare system than you. In America, I believe we do, but we do need to look after everyone. And when we do have a recession it's not if a recession is going to happen; it's when a recession is going to happen, and that's going to be devastating. So let's hope that we can make our money in crypto. But yeah. And look after our families.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I think by I don't know. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, but it's a time thing right now. It's just time, because you know what? They can make us. They can wait for a while, but they want to create a lot of forced sellers. It seems, right? So by them doing this, they're getting their way. Oh, I hate it when that happens. They're going to create a lot of forced sellers.
You're very good with your charts. How long have you been in crypto?
I just figured out how to undo this the other day. Since 2019. Well, but I bought Bitcoin in 2013, but I was just a holder. I wouldn't say I was like in crypto and like learning charts until 2019 ish.
So do you still have any of the Bitcoin from 2013?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well done. Congratulations.
Doesn't even have a gray beard. Wannabe 60s youngster. Yeah, I've been around for a while. I had a hippie friend in LA who was, I'm not going to tell the whole story. I don't want to. I think I told her really quick once. But he was like, he got me to get some, so I got some. And then I had another guy who I knew who was mining it at the time, and I just thought he was weird. I'm like, why do you want to do that? But he's a genius. I never heard from him again. I think he like vanished, probably bought a yacht and disappeared, right? I was hanging out in his studio, and I'm like, what's going on? And he had this closet with all these lights coming out of it. And he's like, come here, man, come here. He's like, you know what Bitcoin is? I'm like, oh, yeah, I got this guy he just got me to buy some. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, well, I'm actually mining it. And he opened this closet. This is 2013. Actually, this was 2012 or 2013? And the whole closet was just lined with CPUs, and he had LEDs in there, and it was making all this noise. And I was like, cool, man. He's like, yeah, one day these will be worth a lot of money. And I'm like, I was like, okay. I was like, cool, you want another beer? And like, yeah, I didn't think much of it at the time. Guy was a genius. So he was a very smart guy, though. He was a very smart guy.
I have a lot of respect for people who got into Bitcoin early, the OGs. I can literally just, sit and talk to them for hours and hours and hours, and I love hearing everything. I actually know somebody who got into Ethereum when it was 30 cents, like as soon as it launched, like 25, 30 cents. And yeah, I just love hearing all of his stories, etc.
I do think you're right.
A huge amount of respect.
I think we're going lower, but we're going to hit a lot of support here around this 15. I mean, we're at 1600, but I think we're going to make our way to this 1525. And the RSI has been down at 32 in 2016. It's been down at about 27 in 2018. It's been down to 27 again in 2022. And right now we are at 32-ish. And to me, it looks like we could go lower. For sure. Scary idea, but it's happening. It's happening.
It's one of those things. It's like, if you can go back in time, what would you do? If I could go back in time, I'd buy Bitcoin in 2009. So one of those things, isn't it? It was.
I feel like
when it first launched.
I feel like girls like to think about that. They love the romantic time travel. If they go back in time.
But I wouldn't go back for
lover, but you'd go back for money.
I'd go back for Bitcoin.
You'd go back for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, I'd go back and buy Bitcoin for sure. That would be awesome. I'd buy a lot of. I'd start mining it. In 2009.
Yeah.
So we're looking crazy here. It's getting nuts. 79. It looks. I think we're gonna close under here, but we'd still have a pretty big massive rally tomorrow. I'll look at the futures market and I'll update in my Telegram pups what we're looking at for tomorrow morning. And yeah, that's kind of all we can do here. We've got 19,000 people watching right now. Amazing, but we only have 23 likes. How is that possible? Pup, smash the like button. Smash it very hard.
Oh, somebody said a question about diminishing returns for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, no matter what cryptocurrency you're in at the moment, if it's not Bitcoin, at one point it's going to go to zero. Is PulseChain going to be around in 10 years? Is Ethereum going to be around in 10 or 20 years? Even Cardano, is it going to be around? The thing with blockchain technology is that because we're so early, it's evolving so fast, and newer chains are coming out. Better and better chains are coming out. So what we have today, it's not going to be as fast or scalable or as user-friendly, etc., to what we'll have tomorrow. So the spirit of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin itself, is the only OG, and it's the only cryptocurrency that I would never ever sell.
Okay.
Bitcoin has actually outperformed almost everything else.
It has. And I agree with you.
Really has.
I agree with you on that. I think we'll keep coming back no matter what. But that's why I like, the only reason I came over here to PulseChain, actually, to be honest, was because I was already thinking in terms of AI and communities and cults and what have you last cycle. And I already thought I had Cardano. I did really well in Cardano last cycle and Matic and all these. And my thought process was this. None of these communities are going to make it. None of them are that engaging. Huh? Passionate. I was going to say, okay, I thought you said sexual, but passionate I think is a more accurate word, 100%. Cardano, it just doesn't have that level of passion and engagement, and certainly is not sensual and provocative, and there's nothing that's going to hold it when it gets outcompeted in the future, just as you're saying with AI or what have you. And it doesn't matter what chain it is. It doesn't matter. Every cycle there's going to be a new one that's just going to be better. And at the end of the day, I think what's going to survive is going to be the communities. And Bitcoin is the original cult of Satoshi. And it also has great tokenomics. It's amazing at what it is. It was the first. You're right, it's going to always keep coming back. But I think that PulseChain is going to be a massive, massive head turner in the not so distant future. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. At all. I did a tremendous amount of research into this, and I do study psychology and things like that too. So I'm anticipating that to compete with AI, there's also going to be a lot of people that are going to be drawn just to the community aspect of it, to avoid tech. Not that we're going to go through some weird like anti-tech movement is going to happen, but it could. You will have a bit of pushback against the robots and the AI. It will be there for sure. And PulseChain has great product market fit, has great marketing. All the artists are over here, all the creative types. All the beautiful women in crypto are on PulseChain. That's no doubt about that. They're all over here. It has just these things that I could see exploding into something really incredible. Now Solana has some cool elements to it too. There's no doubt about that. But we're not Solana. We're not Solana. But Solana has some good vibes too. There's some good communities. I got some good friends over there too. They're doing some cool stuff. They had some party houses. They're really, really building community over there too. I'll give them that. And they're compelling as well. But I think we have this grassroots thing over here that's like salt of the earth, grassroots. Like there's something about what's being built over here that I think is just going to stick around for a very long time. And I think we're going to flip Solana. I do believe that. I think we're going to flip Solana.
So, you brought up a valid point there. So with Solana, thank you so much for having me on, because I'm now going to go away and I'm going to research PulseChain. I really am.
Hey,
Because I can see the community behind it, and it's so passionate.
Yeah,
and this is the sort of energy that you need to have a very successful cryptocurrency, if that makes sense.
100%. Yeah.
But one thing that I'm pretty sure about is that PulseChain is not doing what Solana's doing. So Solana will pay influencers a huge amount of money, lots and lots of money, to hype up the chain, all the rest of it. Solana, the memes on Solana were a double-edged sword. So the memes, this is obviously, I'm just talking about something else now. So yeah, one thing that Solana does do is it does play influencers, and it does play people to hype up Solana, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand.
It's done it in the past. I'm sure it's still doing it. The memes were a double-edged sword for Solana. One, they brought developers to the space. They highlighted Solana, if that makes sense. They brought awareness to the chain, but they also added a novelty effect to the chain. I'm pretty sure PulseChain is not paying a huge amount of influencers to do the same thing that Solana.
None. It's all grassroots. All grassroots. We don't have VCs. We don't have bankers, investors, guys in suits pumping it. Nothing. It's all done by community. Everything is community driven over here. That's what's unique about it. Are you saying?
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna look into it.
Are you suggesting I should go to Solana and get that VC money?
I personally don't like things like that.
Oh.
If I'm completely honest.
Well, then you'll love PulseChain. You like it over here?
Yeah. I mean, the way that I see it is that a lot of people are really, really struggling, and I'm talking about families.
Yeah.
It's like the way I've been in crypto now long enough, where I've seen men in a way that I've never seen them before. So I've never seen them struggling so hard for their families because they don't tend to talk. So I remember actually this episode that nearly made me cry, and it was a man in my Telegram group, and he was so happy that he had I think he was from a third world country, and he was so happy that he'd won this trade or whatever, and all he wanted to do was take his wife and his children out for dinner.
Oh, that's awesome.
That it was so beautiful, and I just thought to myself, if you told your wife, like if you were able to communicate with that to her, she would have loved you like 10 times more. But I've seen men struggle in the bear market. I've seen men struggle day in and day out. Crypto is not somewhere where you can make a lot of money very, very quickly. It's not what most people think crypto is. So I have a huge amount of respect for people. Especially now, I actually have a huge amount of respect for men, which I didn't have before. But that's because I've seen it from, the inside. And I don't believe anyone should, we all have the same dreams. We all want to be financially free, if that makes sense. And I don't think anyone should hoodwin anyone else. There's enough money out there for everyone, if that makes sense.
I 100% agree with you. I really think there is. I think there is. I think similar to the sentiments you're sharing, I think more and more people are going to find out about PulseChain and see what we're doing over here. And no money is being spent on VCs and getting people to promote false promises and stuff. It is what it is, And I think people, the kind of people I've met, I mean, of course, we have our sharks over here and like people in crypto and our scams that come over here and try to take advantage of people. Of course, it's crypto. We have those as well. But what we do have over here is a lot of hyper-conscientious people, extraordinary heart-forward people. I've met some just wonderful people over here that is quite different from what you find in the rest of crypto, without a doubt, And it really is like a big family growing over here. It's absolutely community-run. Nobody's paid to do anything at all. We do it because we believe in what's being built over here. And I think we'll do well financially as well. But it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great to watch this take shape. And I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. I hope, I'm it is what it is. Nobody knows the future. But, yeah.
Yeah, no, you've got a lovely community as well. Look at them. I don't know what time it is over there, but it's almost 10 o'clock here.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm an hour ahead of you. Yeah.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we're not
okay.
far from each other, which is cool, which is why it works out, time-wise with us. But yeah, man, it's been super great to have you on the show. I'm stoked that you said yes to come on and chill and talk with us for a little bit. I think everybody wanted to hear you riff more about BTC and the market cycles. You were extraordinarily well prepared, and you understood a lot of details about, past cycles too and everything. Like a great memory.
The thing is, I think a lot of people in your chat, and I think a lot of people will have the same sort of issue that I have, and it's one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel. I don't have any real life friends who are in crypto. So when I meet someone like you, I get so excited. I really, really do.
Like me?
And when I meet people, well, like you, like people in your community, people in like my Discord and things like that, I get so excited because in real life, I don't have anyone to talk to about crypto, if that makes sense. And I think that's probably a lot of people are like that. And then we find our own community. I can go on forever. I could stay here all night, actually.
Well, I do these
go
streams
on and on.
2-3 nights a week, and we keep them pretty open. If I have the bandwidth, I usually drop links. Anyone can join. So you just send me a message, and if you're free and have some time and I'm streaming, then you can just jump in anytime and just chill. They're pretty casual,
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, I'd love to come back, but hopefully I'll have you on my channel as well, which will be absolutely amazing.
Definitely.
It's for me, it's just literally the technology. It actually got to a point where I had to remind myself I'm actually in crypto to make the money. It's not all about technology, because I got really upset when the meme season was just taking like all the liquidity, like Trump coins sucked all the liquidity out of utility projects, and I was like, oh my god, all the money's going into Trump coin and these meme coins. If utility projects don't get the funding that they need, how are we going to have innovation in the space? But then I just had to come back and say, well, if it's memes, then maybe I do have to play the memes game, because I'm in here to what does that mean?
I'm just clicking up. It said she thinks you're in Cali.
Okay.
I'm in Europe. That's why we're close time zone.
Oh, okay, right, yeah, okay. But yeah, oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot what I was saying again. I'm terrible.
You get distracted quick, huh?
I do.
How do you like to be called? Crypto Princess or what?
So yeah, either Princess or Crypto Princess. It doesn't. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, Crypto Princess is.
So my name, I've actually been called Princess my whole life. So my
Really?
name actually means.
Your papa spoiled you, huh?
Sorry.
Your papa spoiled you?
Well, it's actually the meaning of my name.
Oh, okay.
So my name means a princess married or given to a king, a princess guarded by the king's most trusted guards. And then I have a nickname, which people generally know me as, because nobody really knows my official name, and that's short for Princess Again. So when I came into this space, I actually run my own business in central London, so I wasn't going to use my real name. I was just like, it just had to be Crypto Princess.
Crypto Princess. I like it. But yeah, it's great seeing you. And hopefully I can stop by and I'll see you tomorrow as well.
Yeah, awesome. And I'm pretty sure my channel's linked below, so if anybody else wants to pop in. I'm just trying to grow my community. I'm a really young channel. I'm only 8 months old.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, guys, you've been asking. It's in the description. But go click on her channel, follow her. She's very cool. She talks to everybody in the community. She's extraordinarily social and bringing people together. So a great person to know. So go check her out. Crypto Princess. Awesome. Good having you.
Yeah, and you. It's lovely meeting you. Bye, everyone, and I hope you have a great live stream or the rest of it.
All right. Make some noise, pups. All right, later.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, pups. Make some noise. That was Crypto Princess. We had Annie, who's from Romania and Ukraine earlier, and then Crypto Princess from the UK. So that was cool. A lot of feminine energy tonight. Always full of surprises here. And it's so funny, they came on the bloodiest night we've seen in a long time. I mean, it is crazy tonight. Absolutely crazy. Okay, let me know, because we've been streaming for a little while. What do you guys want to see? I can just check the hexes really quick. Look, I'm going to know a little bit more when I see the futures market tonight. No one knows what's happening. We're coming down. Is it going to be a V-shaped recovery, or are we going to have some, couple months of consolidation? We don't know. Or is this the start of a 3-year bear market? Nobody knows anything right now, right? We're figuring it out. But I think I'm still going to stick to the fact that they're going to force a hand at the Fed. It's going to take a little bit of time. They're going to do what they need to do, and then the Fed will reverse their strategy. Now, yeah. I mean, if I need to see EHEX, that's going to tell me the most. So EHEX, all right, so I have this box here. So the range for it, we have a new range though. It's 0.0012. It's holding up right here at 0.0013. Now, this is kind of a head and shoulder-ish thing, and I've got some targets down here. 0.0006. Or is it 0.0008 and then 0.000? It's 4 zeros. No, sorry, it's 3 zeros and a 5. See, I am old. What is this? Fucking 3 zeros. Yeah, so we got some targets down there. We'll look at this. This is kind of telling me a little bit more than... Because this was holding up really good, and this looks like dog shit right now. So... this might also tell us a little bit about when Ethereum's going to be ready to turn around as well. If we looked at EHEX, EHEX is our connection to Ethereum, really, most. Huh? Interesting. Yeah, I think we got to let it happen. So tomorrow we could get a big juicy pump tomorrow on the equities and move up to fill gaps, or, yeah, that's really what I think just in the norm would happen tomorrow. Who? What? Nosebleed? Oh yeah, no. Fuck, you guys are hilarious. I was fucking bleeding at the nose. On the beast chart. ETH just hit 1,600. Great. Yeah. Oh, where are we at? So, whoa. Yeah, you're getting closer to my target here at 1525, pups. You're getting closer and closer to my targets. All right. Remember, I was just saying in the live stream, I was like, we're probably going to 1550, 1525. 1355 is absolutely in the cards. And it is what it is. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds here. We don't see capitulation yet, though this could be the start of it for crypto market, but we don't know that yet, okay? And we'll need to see how the market's open tomorrow to understand what's happening. And to be honest, we've already dumped so much. Technically, we're actually holding up okay. But if we're going to bleed out into for a few weeks or a couple months, it is what it is. And we're going to look for divergences in the RSI and the MACD. We're going to look for some bullish divergences. We're going to hunt for those. We're not going to find them yet. I got you, Wolf. Yeah, I totally thought I was bleeding. It's happened to me before, actually. PHEX bottomed. You think it's bottomed? Why are you guys always so confident that you found the bottom? You guys are hilarious. Like, how the fuck do you know that's the bottom yet? Dude, there's nothing here that would tell me necessarily this is the bottom. All right. Like, I don't know what charts you guys are seeing that I'm not seeing. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe you've got, some divergences on the RSI a little bit, but I don't know. I don't see any big volume or anything else. I'm not going to call bottoms yet, dude. Yeah, that's true. Somebody in this community is calling bottom on X like every day. No. We ain't calling bombs. Everybody subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. We actually, it tells me only 1 out of every 3 of you subscribed, which I'm shocked, especially at the way I've been calling charts. But hey, you do you. You got to do you. So subscribe to the channel. Smash the like buttons. Let me see what else. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Like the big bottom girls, just like the market. Yeah, I like to see nice, big, thick, rounded bottoms, man. That's what I like. The ball's in the Fed's hands. I don't know. I think it's in Trump's hands, actually. Trump's taking charge, buddy. He's taking charge. I think this will be fine for the long run. I think what we have to deal with this pain, though. Alex, that's not the bottom. Oh, you guys are a trip. We're going to have bottom callers everywhere. I want to show you this video. Do we have a second? I know nobody wants to see a lot of more bloody charts. There's not much to see right now. I mean, we can just go through and see how everything's breaking down, but I don't really want to. I would recommend, if you're going to do anything, I can't tell you to DCA, and I'm not going to give you financial advice. I just don't see evidence of bottoms yet. Is it a V-shaped recovery? I don't know. That's a call you got to make. But I don't see necessarily capitulation yet. If a V bottom is what you want, or maybe this is it. Maybe this is just how it's playing out. So I can't tell you that. Some good riz. For real, the beast of the got all the Schillers in there. So what are you guys looking at? Oh, you guys are looking at this. What I would recommend before I go to that is what I'm going to do is just chill, or I would say recommend trading. So get in there, put in a long, get ready for tomorrow, or short, wherever you think it's going. Do some trading. Don't go crazy on leverage. Have good stop losses. It's going to be extraordinarily volatile. If you feel like we are at a bottom, or we're going to recover very quickly, then yeah, obviously you should be DCAing if you feel like that, right? I think I'm biased at playing out, but I'm ready for it ripping. I can jump back into positions, fine. I'm ready for that to happen. All right. But I'm not convinced necessarily yet. I think I'd want to see capitulation, where like psychologically people give up on the market, right? If you think we're about to have V-shaped recovery, then you believe we're probably around, I don't know, I guess belief or thrill. Time to get fully invested, right? You'd probably be around here. I'm right here. I think I'm between denial and panic, and we're about to just like consolidate and have like our mini bear until we pick up again. All right, I say mini bear because that's my bias right now. Can you guys see that? Okay. Yeah, I think that we're around here. I think people are buying the dips, and it's going to be short-lived, and it's going to capitulate. And when I see capitulation, I'll start DCAing. And like I said, if I'm wrong, it's fine. I'll DCA back in and blah, blah, blah. That's history. I got to make my decisions. You guys got to make yours, on it. Only capitulation for me is zero. I feel like we're near hope. You feel like we're near hope? Yeah, it could be too, man. I mean, I'm not. Why is this so fucking? Come here. He says we're by. Sorry to call this. He says we're by hope. So he's over here. Wait, where you at? No, here. He's over here. I don't know about that, man. Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Yeah. You got to call it for you. I think we had euphoria. I do. A version of it. I don't think the euphoria. I think the cycle is not over. I do think there's going to be more to come. That's my bias still. And you'll feel that next euphoria as well. But maybe it'll also feel muted. Like this one felt, it was considered a very hated rally. And maybe it'll be looked back and people will say, oh, that was euphoria. We just didn't want to believe it was. Like I said, a man shot his brains out on stream. Trump launched a meme coin. The president of the United States, the president of Argentina launched a meme coin. A kid blew his brains out on stream over a meme coin. Pump Fund was minting like $5 million a day or something. I don't know. It was ridiculous. I think people that bought ETH at $4,000 are now in somewhere between denial and panic right now. They're freaking out, but they're like, but I have Ethereum, it'll come back. And then at some point, a lot of people will dump and we'll see capitulation. And that's what I'm looking for. That's my take right now. But You know, what'd be crazy is if we do have a V-shaped recovery and tomorrow we just blast off, and then in a few weeks we're at all-time highs. Like, hey, maybe, right? And we'll have to think about it. About to jump into optimism. Yeah, a lot of people are thinking we're somewhere over here. That's interesting. Okay. You feel like hope. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think what everyone's feeling is hope is actually denial. But we'll see. But remember, these are short. This can all play out in just a few weeks or months. This doesn't mean a 4-year bear market is in front of us. I want to be clear for people who are new to the channel. I've been saying for months that we're going to have a bearish period in this bull run. Because remember, we had it back here as well, right? If you come back here to this bull run, what did you have? You had all this, right? You had a bear market in this bull market, remember? Do you guys remember? Everybody forget? It lasted from how long? From beginning of May until end of July. So you had a 3-month bear market right here. Okay, and everybody thought that as well, that this is the bear market's over. And what did we do? We went to a new all-time high. I think you might have something like that happening right now, where you're gonna have, it's gonna feel like shit. We're about to completely capitulate, or we're capitulating now, and then you're gonna go sideways, and then hopefully we'll break out to all-time highs. So it's happened. It happened before, and it was, how long was this bear market? What is it? 3 months? May, June, July. It was 2.5 months. Was this right? Was this period right? Remember that? So maybe we're gonna have something like that. We'll bottom out here in June, July, 61K, 60K. Worst case scenario, I guess, would be 43K. Remember, these are levels. Okay, these are real levels. I'm not making this shit up. So 43K is right here. Okay, I should probably put that in there now that we're breaking down. Does that color suck? Oh shit. Okay, there we go. 43K. But this is kind of where I think could be a good landing spot. It's about 62K right here. A lot of confluence for me. Let's see what happens. Or maybe the 300 is it. Maybe that's it. We just bounce off the 300, or we go a little bit below it, and we're ready to go. Let's see what happens. Good morning, Wolfpack. Yeah. April 21st. Who's watching right now? Smash the like button. You guys smash it? All right, let's watch this video. Like I said, I can't tell you whether DCA in right now or not. That's up to you. If you think the bottom's in. Otherwise, you should trade. You should, get off the internet, hop on Bybit or KuCoin or whatever, and make some money. Otherwise, let's go watch this video. It's about Walmart. Pups, and it's going to help with some of the people who have been curious about Walmart lately. So check this out.
Kevin in Seattle. People ask me why Walmarts are closing. The answer is simple. When I took an Army logistics class, the U.S. Army developed a logistics system for Walmart. Walmarts were strategically set up around the world to act as military distribution bases. So if we have problems in Yemen, the Special Forces takes over the Walmart in Yemen. You can order a helicopter and nuclear weapons on a Walmart logistics system. There's a back door into it. They taught me that. If you are going to have Operation Jade Helm throughout the Southwest, you seize a Walmart. You can order things such as M16 rounds. You can order an M16 to the Walmart program. So they walk into a Walmart, fire 2,200 people in California. You're all laid off, go away, no unemployment, get out of here. Because the military then takes over their base. The specific logistics program I was trained on in California is the same program they use at Walmart. The Walmarts are federal military posts. How many Walmarts they have, they get extra money from the government. And when the government takes over, they get a fortune from the government. Those products are redistributed to other Walmarts. In addition, the American dollar is no longer being accepted in a lot of countries. Walmart can't get products. Nobody will exchange the American dollar for the toys that we're getting at Walmart. Sorry, it's the way it is. The end game is here. Folks, if you get laid off from Walmart and Home Depot, they're Walmarts, they're similar to colleges that are federal repositories like Humboldt State University, where they have underground battalion headquarters, Evergreen State College in Washington. Thousands of colleges have pre-prepared military bases underneath them. The Walmarts and the Home Depots are the same way. So if you're working for Home Depot and you get laid off, go to another one. But that's likely to get laid off. Because as poorly hits the fan, this is what is in our Department of Defense manuals, to seize the Home Depots and to seize the Walmarts and use their logistics program to order our weapons to kill us. It's the way it is. Sorry. I've been trained on it. I'm one of the few officers that was trained on the Walmart program. The entire class was enlisted except me. Anyway, thank you. You have a wonderful day, and I wish you the best of luck.
Whoa. Crazy, right? Crazy.
Your wife, your mother, there isn't anything that you ever had. There isn't anything that you own.
It's in 93.
There isn't any right that you possess that they're not planning on taking away. Sheeple. Your sheeple. And your children are going to be slaughtered if you go along with the program. It's time to wake the town and tell the sheeple. We are being led like sheep to the slaughter. What is the purpose? A new world order. The United States of America is controlled by this evilarchy. They control the money system. They control the State Department. They control the presidency.
So they have a plan to give us a new age world global occultic religion. They're going to have been deceived so greatly that they'll actually think it's something good. In fact, the whole New Age movement, the New World Order crowd is telling people that the 666 mark of the beast is the most elite thing that could ever happen to them.
No cash. Cashless society. It's ready to go. Disease could be created. In essence, this is what he was saying.
We have new strains of virtually everything that's drug resistant or drug free.
I'm not worried about the old diseases. I'm worried about the ones that they create to bring down the population of the world. They simply want to exterminate them, but that they consider them to be useless eaters.
Words are very important to the Illuminati. These things are manufactured purposely for a purpose. And so I'm saying that there is something organized and directed, and it's here in this country.
Future shocker biochip. And this is what Anthony showed you earlier, a biochip. That's an injectable computer chip, an economic mark in the back of our right hands or in our foreheads.
You've got a choice. You can join in this fight, or you can die as a slave.
That was in 93. That's crazy, right? This guy knew it was up. You guys have seen this, right?
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis.
This is UK right now.
Why did you do this? For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off there. Ta-ta, and farewell. Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
All right, Pops, look. I'm going to update the chat on the Telegram. So you guys come to the Telegram. It's at Same World Vision. I'm going to check out the futures market here in a little bit. All right. That's the Telegram. Everybody come to the Telegram. All right. I'm going to update everybody what's going on. And in the meanwhile, hope you guys are buying some of the dip. And I'll keep you guys updated on what's happening. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the head.